Hello and welcome into AUM Gymnasium here on the campus of Auburn University Montgomery. Check, check. Hello and welcome into AUM Gymnasium here on the campus of Auburn University Montgomery. I'm Wyatt Hall, joined by Sports Information Director Wesley Hallman as we get set for the tip-off between the AUM Warhawks and the Montevallo Falcons. And Warhawks win the tip. It goes in the hands of Bailey Wolf. And Michaela Bullard will bring it forward over to Kyla Rooks. Rooks out to Evelina Aveva. Aveva goes middle back to Rooks. And Rooks out to Bullard. And goes inside to Wolf in the corner to Aveva for three. Is no good. Wolf comes down with the rebound and is fouled. It's going to be foul on the baseline. And let's get to our starters. First for the Warhawks, Kyla Rooks, Michaela Bullard, Evelina Aveva, Reagan Croft, Bailey Wolf. As Bullard inbounds it to Rooks. Back to the top of the key, over to Aveva for a three again. This one is airballed out of bounds. It'll be Montevallo basketball. Starters for the Falcons are Paige Ward, Nautica Philpott, Kaya Sane, Courtney Smith, and Deasia Marsh.
There we saw the first possession that the Warhawks definitely trying to look for Evelina Aveva, the lead scoring rebounder.
Kaya Sane puts it in on the baseline. First points of the game. Montevallo leads 2-0 early. Bullard brings it forward. Aveva, screen set by Wolf. Goes over to Rooks in the corner to Bullard. Bullard jumper, no good. Rebound by Wolf, and a foul by Deasia Marsh.
And coming into the game, Bailey Wolf only averaging 3.3 rebounds a game, but we saw her at our place earlier in the year in the Gulf South Conference SIAC Challenge. She was rebounding well in those games, and here we are less than 2 minutes in. She's already got 2 rebounds here.
And Wolf will go to the line for 2 free throws. The first one is no good.
The size, Wolf 6'3", post player. Difficult for the Falcons with 5'10" in the post.
And Wolf, a transfer from UAB, knocks down the second free throw. Full court press is on by the Warhawks. Nautica Philpott brings it across half court. Dribbling through the Warhawk defenders, going all the way to the basket, and is fouled. And so Philpott will go to the line to shoot two. And Philpott has a lot of scoring in her. We saw some outbursts for her this season. Had 25 points against Christian Brothers.
Certainly. She's playing her best basketball right now. Freshman getting better every night out. And the Falcons will definitely look to get to the free throw line as often as they can.
Philpott's first free throw is missed. And Philpott has the second one roll in. It's a 3-1 lead by the Falcons. Bullard brings it across half court for AUM. On the left side, dribbling back to the middle over to Kyla Rooks. To Aveva in the corner to Bullard for three. Rattles out. Kaya Sane comes crashing for the rebound, falls into the hands of Philpott as she goes the other way quickly to Courtney Smith. Back out to Kaya Sane, over to Philpott. We'll set up the offense, 20 on the shot clock. Goes inside to Courtney Smith, who drives and has it taken away by Aveva. And she goes the other way, 1-on-3. Kaya Sane takes it away from Aveva there. And goes the other way, Philpott in the corner to Ward. Ward driving, kicks back out to Philpott. Philpott for three, no good. Rebound to Aveva. Bullard brings it forward to Rooks. Going back to the middle, over to Aveva in the corner to Bullard. Bullard will come to the top and swing it over to Rooks. Rooks goes inside to Croft, but it's knocked away by Montevallo. Kaya Sane comes up with the steal. Deasia Marsh, top of the key, over to Philpott. Back up to Ward. Sane, back to Ward. Thought about a three in the corner to Smith, who will try for three. Air ball, Aveva the rebound. Aveva brings it across. Looking for a guard, finds Bullard.
Both teams looking to get into an offensive rhythm here early going.
Rooks driving inside. Jumper in the lane through traffic. No good. Rebound to Ward. Ward brings it the other way. Going baseline. Jumper bounces off the rim. Goes out of bounds off of Bailey Wolf. It goes out of bounds. It'll be AUM basketball. It looked as if the Warhawks had touched that last, but the officials signal otherwise. Substitution for Coach Dan Davis's Warhawks. Number 2, Alex Brown checks in. Number 22, Aaliyah Millard. And she'll give Bailey Wolf a break. Aveva over to Millard. Guarded by Marsh. Back to Aveva in the corner to Rooks. Jumper bounces off, no good. Rebound by Philpott. And she loses the ball. Aveva comes up with it. And the layup no good by number 10, Jemiah Lee. Rebound to Montevallo. Kaya Sane takes it the other way. Inside to Courtney Smith. Back out to Kaya Sane for 3, and it is good. Kaya Sane. 5-point lead for Montevallo.
For Sane knocking down the first 3 of the night. Hopefully the Falcons can shoot well from outside. That will definitely help.
And Millard layup no good. Rebound to Philpott. And a foul by Aveva. Substitution, Alva Perez checks in for Montevallo. So does Cassidy Bonebreak and Cheyenne Cunningham. They'll join Sane and Smith. Cunningham brings it forward for the Falcons. Over to Sane. Sane driving, kick out, Bonebreak. She gives it back to Cunningham, back to Bonebreak, or to Sane for 3. Knocks it down again. Kaya Sane on back-to-back possessions. And number 20, Nadia Stewart, has checked in for the Warhawks.
Sane, hot hand early, 2 threes already for the Falcons.
Millard guarded by Perez. Throws it into the body of Smith, almost comes up with a steal, but corrals it and gives it back to Aveva. Bullard in the corner. Out to number 20. Stewart misses the layup. Rebound to Sane. Sane brings it the other way, and Montevallo will set up the offense in the hands of Cheyenne Cunningham. Down low to Alba Perez. Tried the slick pass, but corrals it, and Courtney Smith lays it in.
We like to see the aggressiveness early from the Falcons. This AUM team is one that tries to value their possessions, would prefer a slow pace. The pace so far is really favoring Montevallo.
Bullard nails a 3. That's the first field goal of the day by the Falcons, or the Warhawks, rather. Cunningham brings it forward, setting up the Montevallo offense. Over to Sane. Sane at the top of the key, over to Cunningham. In the corner to Smith, back to Cunningham. Goes to Perez. Goes back to Smith. Driving baseline, kick out to Sane. 3 on the shot clock. Sane has to fire it up. And the officials signal shot clock violation before. So it'll be Warhawk basketball. Jamekia Marine checks in for Montevallo, the leading scorer on this team with 10 points a game. And a timeout is called by the Warhawks. And with 4:02 to go, we have our first media timeout here in today's game. Montevallo currently leading 11-4. What are we seeing so far?
I think I like the pace here, Wyatt. Like I mentioned before, this AUM team is only scoring about 60 points a game. They're a team that likes to value the basketball, not turn it over. The Falcons have been aggressive, driving to the basket, and have gotten some open looks from outside. They've knocked them down through the first 5 minutes. Can they keep up that pace? That'll be key. But I like what I'm seeing from the defensive end down here. The Warhawks trying to go early to their leading scorer, Alveva. And so far, she's missed a couple of open looks. So good news for the Falcons so far. But again, the pace of play will be interesting to watch all night. The Falcons will try to get out in transition as much as they can, get to the free throw line, And AUM's going to be looking for that open shot from the perimeter.
And we're going to get set to get restarted here out of the media timeout. 11-4 is the lead. 4:02 left to go here in the first quarter. It'll be AUM basketball. Lee is inbounding for the Warhawks, gives it to Bullard. Bullard brings it forward, swings it to Millord. Screen set by Lee. Millord dribbles around it in the corner to Bullard for three. No good. Rebound to Bone Break. Ahead to Jamekia Marine, and Falcons go quickly. Marine will slow things down and give it to Cheyenne Cunningham. Back to Marine. Marine on the double team, gives it to Smith. Inside to Perez on the baseline. Goes up strong, no good. Rebound to Millord. And Millord will slow things down and give it to Bullard. Back to Millord. Wide open three is good. Both field goals of the day by the Warhawks have been threes. Cheyenne Cunningham with the ball for the Falcons. Looking for someone. Swings it to Marine in the double team. Back over to Smith. Back to Cunningham. Goes down low to Perez. Out to Bone Break. Hesitation. Gives it to Cheyenne Cunningham for a three. No good. Rebound to number 23, Shanna Strain, who has checked in for the Warhawks here. Millord, long two in the corner is good. And so an 8-0 run here by the Warhawks. The score is 11-9. 2:26 to go in the first. Bone Break over to Perez. Down low to Smith on the block. And she is fouled in her layup attempt. She'll go to the line for two shots. It was number 10, Jamia Lee, the junior out of Hoover, Alabama, who committed the foul there. And the Falcons' pace kind of slowed down a little bit, not getting the shots they wanted here since the media timeout.
Yeah, since the media timeout, the Warhawks have controlled the pace of play a little bit. On the fast break there, Falcons didn't get a clean look inside, so they pulled it back out. Montevallo needs to take advantage of these chances at the free throw line.
And Smith misses both at the line. Rebound to Millord. Over to Bullard. Bullard inside to number 24, Reagan Croft, who was blocked by Courtney Smith. And one official signaled Montevallo ball, one signaled Warhawk basketball, and they decide it will be AUM basketball, so they'll inbound under their own baseline. Millord, top of the key. Screen set by Croft. In the corner to Bullard, back out to number 20, Stewart. Loses the ball out of bounds, and it's going to remain AUM basketball, but they have just 3 seconds on the shot clock here. 1:51 to go in the first. Nautica Philpott checks in. Bullard for three, knocks it down. And that is the first lead of the day for the Warhawks, 12-11.
Yeah, Bullard heating up. She's their best three-point shooter, averaging 36% on the year.
Philpott over to Marine in the corner to Bone Break. Gives it to Smith. Over to Perez. Elbow jumper rattles in. Montevallo has the lead, 13-12. Bullard. Three in the face of Perez, no good, but offensive rebound by Millord, no good, and another offensive rebound, this time by Stewart, and the Warhawks reset. With 1 minute and 3 seconds left to go here in the first. Bullard swings it to Stewart. It goes back to the top of the key. Hand off to Millord. Spin move on Marine. Layup no good. Rebound at Cunningham. Cunningham going to the hoop. off the back iron, no good. Alba Perez flies in for the rebound and throws it out of bounds. Pass intended for Nautica Philpott, but too much zip on that one. Substitutions for both teams. Kaya Sane and Demaya Foster comes in. Foster makes her first appearance here in today's game. And Kyla Rooks checks back in for the Warhawks, the leading player in assists and steals for this Warhawks team. Stewart driving baseline over to Rooks, who loses the ball, and a foul is called on Rooks as her and Sane were battling for the basketball. So it'll be Montevallo basketball with 26.2 seconds to go here in the first. The shot clock is turned off.
And again, despite the couple of threes by Bullard, a good defensive effort here in the first period by the Falcons.
Falcons average 9.1 steals a game in the tops of the Gulf South Conference. Philpott standing at the logo of AUM, letting the game clock go down. 8 seconds left on it now. 5 seconds and they'll run a play. Marine trapped. And 1 second, and AUM comes up with a steal and no shot. That'll be the first quarter. Montevallo tried to run a play to Marine, but she was trapped by the Warhawks defense, and nothing happened there at the end. So at the end of one, Montevallo leading by 1 point, 13-12. The Warhawks went on a run late in that game to get within 1 point.
Yeah, nice start by the Falcons. They got, 11-1 lead there right off the bat. Their three-point shooting fell off a little bit. They hit a couple early, helped them out tremendously. But again, a nice effort by Montevallo defensively and a good start. Not in the hole here. Coming with a 1 point lead after the first period, try to build off that momentum. It's been rare for the Falcons to get off to that good start this year, so hopefully they can keep it up.
We'll take a quick break here in AUM Gymnasium, and we'll be right back for the second quarter. And welcome back into AUM Gymnasium as we begin the second period. Montevallo basketball with the lead 13-12. Kaya Sane over to Deasia Marsh. Over to Ward. Goes to the other side of the court, gives it to Philpott. Back over to Sane. And the pass to Marsh is knocked out of bounds by Evelina Aveva. It'll remain Montevallo basketball, 11 on the shot clock. Marsh, the inbounder, gives it to Philpott. Back to Marsh, thought about a three, but committed to travel instead, and it will be Warhawk basketball.
Yeah, one key for the Falcons tonight is they have to take care of the basketball. They want to turn up the tempo, but they need to take care of the basketball.
Aveva, the other way for the Warhawks, to Shayna, who throws up the three, gets her own rebound, misses that one, and a fight for the rebound. Philpott comes up with it, and a jump ball is called. It was Shayna Strain with the fantastic offensive effort on the boards.
Yeah, the Warhawks have a 6-0 advantage on the offensive boards right now. Got to block out, especially from a three-point shooter. You can't let them get their own rebound.
Inbound pass to Aveva. Brings it outside the three-point line, trying to go down low to Croft. Montevallo commits the foul. It's Deasia Marsh. That's her second in today's game, so she'll have to come take a seat on the bench. Courtney Smith will come in. Kyla Rooks will inbound for the Warhawks. And throws it cross court to Stewart. Hand off to Strain. Top of the key, spinning against Smith, going to the hoop and is fouled. Shanna Strain making an impact off the bench here early in the second period. The senior out of Woodland, Alabama, transferred from Southern Union. Jamekia Maureen will get set to check in for Montevallo. Strain makes the first free throw. The game is tied at 13. And Maureen comes in now. And Strain's second free throw barely rolls out. Courtney Smith the rebound. Ward ahead to Foster, inside to Maureen, but it's batted out of bounds by Shanna Strain. It'll be Montevallo basketball.
That's a nice look inside by Demaya Foster. Just didn't quite get the pass into the post fast enough.
And just a better defensive effort there by Strain. Foster inbounding, looking for Smith, but comes up with the ball as it bounced off three players. And the officials discussing what the call is. We had a whistle on the floor. They're going to re-inbound. Foster inbounds it to Maureen. Over to Philpott. In the corner to Foster. Back to Philpott. Swings it to Ward. Thought about a three. Hands it off to Maureen. 9 on the shot clock. Philpott driving in. Nice handoff to Smith, who can't get the layup to go. Tries to save it out of bounds, but it'll be Warhawk basketball. 8:43 left here in the second. Nadia Stewart brings it forward for the Warhawks here. Strain. Guarded by Smith. Handoff back to Stewart. And Stewart commits the travel. So it'll be Montevallo basketball. 8.5 to go. Bailey Wolf checks back in. We haven't seen her since the early part of the first period. And Millord checks back in as well for Coach Dan Davis's side. Philpott over to Ward. Ward goes back top of the key to Maureen. Finds Philpott for three. No good. Rebound to Aveva.
Nice look there by Nautica. Philpott. Not a bad shot. Just didn't go down.
And the Montevallo scored 11 points in the first quarter, but so far 2 minutes played here in the second, and they've only scored 2. Jamia Lee layup is good. Or excuse me, Reagan Croft.
Yeah. That's just a mismatch in the post there. 6 foot. Croft able to take it against a smaller Foster.
Philpott over to Maureen. Trying to drive on Millord. Gives it off to Foster. Back to Ward. Over to Smith. And Aveva knocks it out of bounds. Smith trying to make the pass in the corner to Maureen. It'll be Montevallo basketball in front of the Warhawk bench. Maureen will inbound. 11 on the shot clock. Gives it to Ward, who goes back to Maureen for three. No good. Rebound to Reagan Croft. Ahead to Bullard. The Warhawks are going quickly here. Bullard goes inside to Wolf, and a foul is going to be called against Courtney Smith. She kind of hooked Wolf fighting for position there. And that's the first personal foul on Courtney Smith. That's a third team foul for Montevallo here in the second. So 2 more would mean the Warhawks would be in the double bonus. AUM inbounds to Wolf over to Bullard. Down low to Millord, who extended her shoulder, and an offensive foul is going to be called. It was Jamaica Maureen who stepped in and took the offensive foul.
Yeah, pretty easy call there on that one. Definitely led with his shoulder.
And Philpott will bring it across half court and give it over to Ward. It goes to Maureen for three. Rolls out. Ward comes up with the offensive rebound. Out to Philpott for three. No good. Wolf grabs the defensive rebound for AUM.
The Falcons have cooled off a little bit from three-point range. I'm sure they may focus on trying to penetrate, get to the basket.
Aveva airballs a three. It'll be Montevallo basketball.
Taking some quick shots early in the shot clock. They may look to feed it inside or drive to the basket with Philpott. Try to get a few easier looks.
Philpott on the left side goes back to the middle. Swings it to Marine, who's driving inside. Jumper, no good. Rebound to Croft. Millord over to Aveva. Thought about a three. Back to Millord. She'll shoot a three. This one rolls out. Rebound to Aveva. Inside to Bailey Wolf, who is fouled as she goes up for the layup attempt. I believe it was Courtney Smith again. Actually, it's going to be Marine instead.
You can see for the Warhawks, Aveva all over the floor there. Nice rebound. Look inside.
Aveva, the leading scorer and rebounder on this team, junior out of Russia. Alba Perez checks in. So does Cassidy Bonebreak. Ward and Foster will come to the bench. And Wolf misses the first, makes the second. 16-13.
Starting to see some full court pressure here from Auburn-Montgomery. The Falcons do a nice job there breaking the pressure.
Philpott kicks it out to Marine. Airballs a three. Perez tries to save it, but it'll be AUM basketball. And the defense is using a lot of traps as well against the ball handlers in Montevallo. As soon as they try and drive anywhere in the lane, it's really disrupting them here in the second.
Yeah, it's been difficult inside for the Falcons. You got to keep looking, keep driving, though. Try to break that pressure. Three-point shooting has cooled off a little bit here in the second period.
Bailey Wolf, top of the key, over to Bullard. Goes down low. Handoff to Wolf, and she is fouled again. And Reagan Croft made a nice pass there to Wolf. It will return
nice
back to the free throw line.
For the Falcons in the post. All four surround Wolf when she got it. But the foul call sends her back to the free throw line.
That one is missed. Allison Latch and Cheyenne Cunningham check in. Full court press is on. And Albert Perez commits the travel after Bailey Wolf made the second free throw. 17-13 lead. It'll be AUM basketball again. Bullard will control the offense here for Auburn-Montgomery. Screen set by Croft. Bounce pass by Bullard over to Millord. Back to Aveva. Back to Bullard. A lot of movement here in this Warhawk offense. Bullard. Offensive foul is called against Reagan Croft as she was fighting for position against Nautica Philpott in the post. 5:10 left to go here in the second quarter. Montevallo still has only scored 2 points here in the second. Down 4.
Yeah, trying to get a look inside here with Alba Perez.
Perez turns it over. Bullard comes up with it for AUM. Over to Millord. Driving inside, kick out to Bullard. Heavily guarded by Cunningham there. Swings it to Aveva. Jumper in the lane, no good. Offensive rebound, back to Aveva. And over to Millord. We'll give it back to Aveva, and then a nice cut by Millord, but she can't get the layup to go. And a foul is called against the sophomore out of Alpharetta, Georgia, Leah Millord, after Alba Perez hauled in the offensive rebound. And that'll bring us a media timeout here. Under 5 minutes left to go here in this quarter, 4:31. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll be right back here in AUM Gymnasium as the Warhawks lead 17-13. Welcome back here in AUM Gymnasium. It'll be Montevallo basketball after the foul. And the pressure is on by the Warhawks. Bone break brings it across half court. Over to Latch in the corner, driving baseline. Bounce pass to Perez. Back out to Bone break over to Philpott. Long three is good. Out of the timeout, Montevallo puts three on the board. Their first three of the second quarter. 2-point game. Bullard brings it forward. Nautica Philpott tried to steal, but is called for the foul instead.
The Falcons did a nice job breaking the pressure there. That led to the open three-pointer by Philpott.
Yeah, fantastic ball movement on that possession. Bullard will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws after Philpott committed the foul. 4:07 left to go in the second period. Bullard's first free throw bounces off the back iron. And she knocks down the second. So it's a 3-point lead for the Warhawks. And they decide not to press this time. Philpott, top of the key, over to Bone break. Looking for someone, finds Cunningham. Oh, back over to Bone break. She tries a three. No good. Rebound to Aveva. She'll bring it across half court. Nice screen set by Wolf. Aveva driving to the hoop. Gets it to go off the glass and the foul.
It was a tough shot right there by Aveva. She gets it to go down and gets to the free throw line.
And that's a position where you've got to throw up the shot no matter what kind of look you have when you get fouled and that angle.
Certainly.
So Aveva will attempt to complete the and one, and she doesn't. Alba Perez on the rebound. 5-point lead by AUM. Philpott, pump fake, driving, jumper is good.
A nice job there by Philpott.
Yeah, she sent,
the freshman is a really heady player for the Falcons.
Yeah, she got Michaela Bullard off her feet there on the pump fake, giving her room to knock down the jumper. Aveva, handoff to Bullard. Trying to drive, but carry is called. Again, tough defense by the Falcons, force a turnover. Montevallo forces on average of 18 turnovers per game. And the Falcons are just turning the ball over 17 times themselves, but have had success defensively, forcing some bad passes and such by their opponents. 3:05 left to go here in the second. Montevallo basketball. Cunningham inside to Perez. Back out to Latch for three. No good. Cunningham couldn't corral the rebound. Aveva grabs it for AUM. And she'll give it to Bullard for three. No good. Latch taps it out to Bone break for the rebound. Ahead to Philpott. Philpott baseline. Decides to reset the offense. Gives it to Bone break, who will try a three and buries it. And Montevallo has the lead 21-20 here in AUM Gymnasium.
Nice start. 4 of 14 from three-point range now.
As number 10, Jamia Lee, knocks down a baseline jumper on the other end for the Warhawks. Philpott standing in the center of the court, letting the clock dribble down, gives it over to Cunningham, who gives it to Latch. Back over to Bone break. Back to Latch, who gives it back to Bone break. In the corner to Cunningham, and she knocks down the three. Back-to-back threes by the Falcons.
As catching on there, we've seen a couple. Bone break knocks down a three. Cheyenne Cunningham knocking down a three. So everybody's shooting well here.
Bullard pass inside to Lee. It's tipped. Croft comes up with it. Can't get the layup to go. Cunningham gets the rebound. And Philpott will run the offense for Coach Van Atta. Gives it to Bone break over to Cunningham. Bounce pass inside to Perez. Goes over to Latch. It goes out of bounds. And it'll be Montevallo basketball here. It went out of bounds off the Warhawks.
The Falcons really need to take advantage here in the last minute 28. Aveva going to the bench for the Warhawks. Chance to take advantage with a leading scorer and rebounder on the bench.
Philpott catches the inbound pass, 10 on the shot clock. Swings it to Perez, who is fouled hard as she goes to the basket. What a pass that was by Philpott. Zipped it in there. It was Reagan Croft who committed the foul. Falcons holding on to a 2-point lead with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play here in the second period before we have halftime. And Perez's free throw misses off the back iron. Bailey Wolf checks in for the Warhawks here.
The Falcons leaving some points out there, only 1 of 5 from the free throw line so far.
Perez makes it 2 of 6 after knocking that one down. 2-point lead, or 3-point lead, 25-22. Stewart throws it away out of bounds for the Montevallo ball. Again, fantastic defense by the Falcons, forcing the turnover. Nautica Philpott brings it forward. Cunningham passes it to Perez, goes out to Philpott for 3. No good. Perez comes up with the offensive rebound, but the shot clock didn't reset. Hands it off to Perez. Layup no good. Perez again fighting for the rebound. It's a jump ball. Actually, they're going to say AUM was out of bounds when they had their hands on the ball, so it'll be Montevallo basketball. 39.9 seconds left to go before halftime. 28 on the shot clock.
And Perez single-handedly kept that alive. Her effort trying to get that rebound has given the Falcons an extra possession here.
11-second difference between shot clock and game clock here. Cunningham will inbound. Gives it to Philpott, and the officials are going to say that Philpott traveled. So they get the ball right back to AUM. 37 seconds to go before half. 30 on the shot clock. Lee inbounds to Stewart.
Key for the Falcons here is to get rebound, give them another possession here before the end of the first half.
Wolf over to Stewart for 3. Can't get it to go. Strain on the offensive rebound for AUM. Tough defense by Philpott. Gives it over to Stewart. Shot clock turned off. Stewart guarded by Cunningham. Dribbling right side. Pass to Lee. Jumper is good with 3 seconds. And that'll be halftime as Montevallo has just the 1-point lead, 25-24 after Jemiah Lee knocked down the jumper with 3 seconds to go before half. Wes, what do we see in the first half from both sides?
Well, we saw some hot shooting from the Falcons. The three-point line has really been where they've made up some ground, shooting the ball well from outside. 5 of 16 from three-point range so far. The key to watch is how do the Falcons play with a lead? They've only had 2 wins this year, only led at halftime in one of those games. A very rare spot for them to have a lead going into the break, come back out with the same intensity with a lead in the second half. First half was good. Good first half for the Falcons, and hopefully they can keep it up here as we go in the second half.
And we are at halftime here, Montevallo versus AUM, as the Falcons are looking for their first win in the Gulf South Conference of the season. We'll take about a 15-minute break, but join us back here on the Falcon Athletic Network for the second half between AUM and Montevallo. Hello and welcome back into AUM Gymnasium as we get set for the start of the third period here. 25-24 is the score. Montevallo is leading, and the leading scorer in today's game is Kaya Sane, who has 8 points for the Falcons, and Michaela Bullard leads the Warhawks with 7 points.
Yeah, Kaya Sane filling in the role there for Jamaica Maureen, scoreless in the first half. Entered the game as the Falcons' leading scorer, so it's good that you got that production from some of the others to step in.
AUM ball to start the third. Michaela Bullard, guarded by Philpott here, gives it to Wolf. Back out to Bullard. She'll try a three. Short there. Rebound to Sane. Montevallo brings it the other way. In the corner to Ward. Driving baseline. Kick out Marsh. Out to Sane for three. No good. Rebound by Bailey Wolf.
Sane with a heat check there early. See if she still has it from the first half. She was 3 of 3, 2 of 2 from outside.
Kyla Rooks now for AUM. Dribbling right side, hands it off to Bullard, who goes back into the paint, kicks it out to Millord. Millord bounce pass in the corner. Bullard for three, no good. Rebound by Marsh. And she'll take it the other way and slow up on the Falcon side of the court. Hands it off to Philpott. Back to Sane. Sane directing traffic over to Philpott. Screen set by Smith. Philpott dribbles around it, gives it to Ward in the corner to Marsh. Nice pump fake. Long two, no good. Rebound in the hands of Wolf. Michaela Bullard now. Pass over to Rooks. Quick pass in the corner to Aveva. No good. Philpott with the board. And ahead quickly. She takes it all the way and is blocked by Aveva.
It was a nice look there by Philpott, still trying to push it, get in a nice look there in transition.
AUM the other way now. Bullard in the corner to Millord. Dribbling against Sane, kicks it out to Rooks. Rooks over to Millord. Millord goes baseline, out to Rooks. Out to Wolf. Jumper is good. AUM strikes first here in the second, or the second half. Sane guarded by Rooks, gives it to Smith. Smith has 2 personal fouls, had to sit majority of the first half. Philpott now. Back to Smith, top of the key, swings it to Sane, driving inside, and is fouled and gets the bucket to go. Count the basket. The basket is good, and Kyla Rooks commits the foul. So Kaya Sane will try and complete the and one.
Impressive finish there by Sane. Not only Rooks had a hand in there, but also over the taller Bailey Wolf got this shot to go down. Chance for a 3-point play here.
When I play defense, let's go.
And if Sane can knock down the free throw to give the Falcons a 2-point lead, and it misses. Rebound to Millord. 27-26 lead for Montevallo. Millord over to Rooks. Rooks in the paint. Bounce pass to Aveva, guarded heavily by Sane. Aveva kicks out to Millord. Millord's three, no good. Ball on the ground. Rebound to Montevallo, and Aveva committed the rebound, committed the foul rather. So it'll be Montevallo basketball after Aveva commits the foul on the loose ball.
The Falcons are doing a nice job collapsing in the post. As long as the Warhawks aren't shooting it well from outside, that's going to help. They're playing nice defense in the post tonight.
Ward over to Philpott. Zips it inside to Sane, who gets blocked by Millord. Fantastic defense. Millord over to Rooks. Rooks will bring it back out and set the offense. Gives it to Bullard. Over to Rooks. Looking for Wolf. Wolf sets the screen instead. Kick out to Millord. In the corner to Rooks. 8 on the shot clock. Rooks top of the key, driving into paint. Jumper at the elbow. rolls out. Aveva grabs the offensive board.
You gotta block her up, not a
He gives it to Bullard. Back over to Rooks to Millord. Millord in the paint. Hands it off to Wolf. A lot of contact on that layup. Wolf can't get it to go. Montevallo the other way. Philpott over to Sane. Tough defense there by Aveva. Ward back to Philpott. Philpott inside to Sane on the baseline. Blocked by Wolf. Sane gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Inside to Marsh. Marsh hands it off to Smith. It goes out of bounds. It'll be AUM basketball. It went off of
I think we're staying here, but we don't have 1 second left on the shot clock.
It'll be Montevallo basketball. It went off of Aveva.
With 1 second left on the shot clock. Difficult situation.
So Montevallo will try and execute the catch and shoot.
They're definitely probably looking for Cassidy Bonebreak, who just came in and is in the corner.
Philpott gives it to Marine, and she dribbles, but not enough time to dribble and shoot. So shot clock violation, AUM basketball.
We mentioned AUM 10-4 edge on the offensive rebounds. That size in the post really affecting Montevallo here. You can sense it. They're in position, but the taller player is just able to win the battle a time or two for the Warhawks.
AUM now, it's Nadia Stewart who has checked in. Her pass is knocked away by Courtney Smith, who gets the steal and gives it to Philpott. Philpott throws it away, looking for Marine, and it'll be AUM basketball. Shauna Strain checks in for AUM now.
Let's go!
Nadia Stewart and Reagan Croft checked in moments ago for Coach Dan Davis.
Coach Gary Van Atta trying to encourage the Falcons to keep up the effort defensively. Doing a nice job tonight. They are really pressuring the ball handler, collapsing the post, doing a good job defensively.
Bullard over to Aveva for 3. Can't get it to go. Marine trying to get the rebound, but Reagan Croft kept it alive, and Strain comes up with it. And she'll try a 3. He's good. And the crowd on their feet here in AUM Gymnasium. Courtney Smith the other way. Layup good.
A nice answer there by Courtney Smith after the made three-pointer. As you mentioned, the crowd's starting to fill in here in the second half. You don't want the Warhawks to get that home court advantage. Got to answer with any nice three-point shots by the Warhawks. Got a good one there from Courtney Smith inside.
Game tied at 29. Aveva jumper at the elbow. Knocks it down. Sweet stroke there by the junior. Nautica Philpott dribbling through the entire defense of AUM, and she is called for the charge.
Charge call committed by number 10.
And with that, we'll have the media timeout here with 4:18 to go, and it's a high energy here in AUM Gymnasium.
It certainly is. The pace again, getting turned up here. Tempo definitely faster than we saw in the second period. You know, the Falcons are hanging in there. That's the question is, can you keep it from snowballing? Can you keep the Warhawks within distance? They're up 2 now. You just want to go into the fourth period with the game still in question. That's the thing you've got to hope for here in the next 4 minutes is keep the momentum from turning in the Warhawks' favor. They're playing well under pressure so far. Got to keep it up.
And we'll take a short break here and be back for the remainder of the third period as AUM leads 31-29. Stay with us on the Falcon Athletic Network. Welcome back as Montevallo is taking on AUM. The Warhawks have a 31-29 lead here. It is Warhawk basketball. Nadia Stewart with the ball. Over to Aveva. Back to Bullard in the corner to Stewart. Bounce pass to Strain. Over to Bullard. To Aveva for three. Money on the three-pointer.
That's just a nice job of ball movement by the Warhawks. The Falcons played great defense for 22, 23 seconds, but they moved it all around the floor. Finally got the open look for the leading scorer.
5-point lead for the Warhawks. Demaya Foster is checked in for Montevallo. She gives it to Bonebreak. And Bonebreak gives it back to Foster. Inside to Perez. Layup no good. Cheyenne Cunningham comes crashing in for the offensive rebound, but it goes out of bounds off of her. It'll be Warhawk basketball.
The Auburn-Montgomery coach, Dan Davis, very animated here.
And we saw him at Trustmark Arena earlier. So he's very animated.
He's got that reputation as the very excitable coach, and he's got a reason to be excited here. The Warhawks have gotten it out to a 5-point lead.
And a foul is called against Montevallo. It's number 23, Alba Perez, away from the ball, so it'll be AUM basketball on the floor. Michaela Bullard will inbound. Strain goes down low to number 24, Croft. And Montevallo is arguing she traveled, but the officials are going to signal for a foul against the Falcons. It's going to be Alba Perez again.
Looked like she could have taken a step or two there before they called the foul. That's what Montevallo head coach Gary Van Atta is asking, but Croft heads to the free throw line.
Croft's first free throw is no good. Kaya Sane checks in for Montevallo, and will give Cheyenne Cunningham a break. And this is a point in the game where AUM can add on to their lead already at 5 points, something Montevallo does not want to happen.
Yeah, certainly. That's why he put Sane back in there. She's the hot hand tonight. Try to get something going offensively.
Croft's second free throw is good. 6-point lead. 3:05 left to go in the third. Marine over to Sane. To Bonebreak. Back to Foster. To Perez, who has it knocked, her pass knocked away, but Marine comes up with it. 10 on the shot clock. Marine driving, jumper, no good. Sane got a hand on it, but rebound goes to Croft, who takes it the other way. Bounce pass to Bullard, can't lay it in. Strain comes in for the offensive rebound. Aveva's pass to Bullard, and Bullard knocks down the three.
That's tough for the Falcons. The 2-on-1 break there. You got to count on your secondary to come in and pick up a rebound. Warhawks get their offensive rebound and turn it into a three-pointer.
38-29, largest lead of the game for AUM. 2:15 to go here in the third. Bonebreak has her pass stolen by Aveva. Stewart, with no one in front of her, lays it in.
AUM turning up the defensive pressure here. A couple of turnovers by the Falcons.
Coach Renata upset, arguing for a travel. Foster driving baseline, loses the ball. Strain comes up with it.
Coach Gary Van Atta calling for a straight substitution. 5 new players on the court.
Bullard.
He's looking to make an adjustment here to get something going.
With the ball in her hands for AUM. Slowing it down. 1.5 to go here in the third. 8 on the shot clock. And Aveva traveled on her pump fake. And 4 substitutes come in for Coach Van Atta. Deasia Marsh, Nautica Philpott, Courtney Smith, and Paige Ward. Kaya Sane will be the only Falcon to stay on the floor during this substitution.
You got to take advantage here. 1:24 left in the third period. You want to try to get this back down to a manageable situation going into the fourth period.
Ward over to Marsh, the Montgomery native. Over to Philpott, down low to Smith. Nice spin move, but too high off the glass. However, she is fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots. Courtney Smith, just a freshman, shows a lot of a talent in the post.
Oh, yeah, she's the most promising post player in that freshman class for the Falcons. and has gotten, again, all of these freshmen, it's not showing up every night in the win-loss column, but they're getting better as the season's progressed. This freshman class has some really talented players in it.
And this is a team, as Courtney Smith misses that free throw, that is just so young. I mean, only 2 players that were on the team last year, Albert Perez and Demaya Foster. Haven Albright out with the injury still. So it's a whole new squad for Coach Fanata, and a lot of growing pains to get through, as he's talked about all year long.
Yeah.
Smith can't knock down the second, goes out of bounds off of Marsh, will be Warhawks basketball.
The one thing you can do when things are getting tough is you can knock down your free throws. That can help you keep that lead from getting away. But Falcons only 2 of 9 from free throw line tonight. Left some out there. It's an 11-point lead.
Under a minute to go here in the third. Bullard guarded by Philpott. It's an 11-point lead. Stewart in the corner misses that 3. Strain comes in for the offensive rebound, but she was out of bounds, so it'll be Montevallo basketball. And this is a huge possession here for Montevallo.
It certainly is. You've got to try to end the third period with some momentum. Get something good to happen so you can take some confidence into the fourth period here on the road in a tough environment.
Philpott driving inside, jumper through a lot of contact. Aveva grabs the rebound. About a second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Seems as if the Warhawks will hold for the final shot of the third.
Yeah, Dan Davis is calling for the final shot here, wants to keep the Falcons from getting another opportunity.
And Bullard will just dribble it out. 3 seconds, but she'll fire up a 3 instead. Aveva the offensive rebound, put back, no good, and that'll do it. We're through 3 quarters here, and AUM is up 40-29. Third quarter, the Falcons want to forget.
Yeah, certainly. You can see that the excitement in the building has kind of gotten, it's inching higher here. You got to match it on the road. You could definitely see it in the Warhawks there in the third period that they're coming out with a little faster pace. They've got the momentum. You've got to answer it here in the fourth period. It's a tough climb, but the Falcons have seen greater deficits. They're here, 11 points, not the worst situation that they've been in and heading into the fourth period this year. You've just got to get some momentum here as we get started.
And we'll take a short break and be back for the fourth period as the Warhawks are leading 40-29. Stay with us on the Falcon Athletic Network. Welcome back to AUM Gymnasium as the Warhawks lead 40-29, and we get started here in the fourth. Montevallo basketball. Philpott will start things off with a 3. It's no good. Aveva comes down with the rebounds. And a foul by Courtney Smith.
Yeah, Evelina Aveva, 7 points, 11 rebounds. Again, filling in the stat sheet for the Warhawks. And you haven't noticed their impact on the game, but you look at the stat sheet, and she got 7 points, 11 rebounds. And
yeah, Aveva, it's 6 foot taller than all of the Falcons.
Yeah.
And she is just having a day rebounding with 11. Warhawks basketball after the foul by Courtney Smith, who has 3 now. Bullard over to Rooks. to Aveva. Back to Bullard. In the corner to Stewart. Stewart finds Lee, who loses the ball. Sane trying to call it with a steal, and a hard foul by Aveva as she gets Kaya Sane.
Yeah, I feel like Coach Gary Van Nett, I thought they missed the first one. Could have called, but they get the second there. A good effort by the Falcons, not giving up.
And
getting that ball.
And that is a third personal foul on Aveva, so you got to think offensively, Montevallo is going to go straight at her, try and pick up her fourth and send her to the bench, as she is having the biggest impact out of all the Warhawks today.
Certainly hope so. Keep her off the boards. Try to keep her a little tentative in the post.
Smith goes to the hole. Layup no good. Loose ball. Smith comes up with it, and a jump ball is going to be called as 4 Warhawks were battling with Smith, and it will remain Montevallo basketball. Actually, it's going to be AUM basketball. But what an effort Courtney Smith provides on the glass.
Yeah, you can't fault the effort tonight. I mean, these Falcons are giving it their all. You just hope some of those three-point shots start falling, get a little momentum, give you some sign of hope here in the fourth to climb back into this one, because they're giving the effort. They're giving the effort. They played well defensively. Just a couple of stretches there in the third period where the Warhawks have been able to get it to double digits.
And we saw last game against Union, Montevallo went on a 12-2 run against the Bulldogs, the number 6 team in the country. So we know they can get on that offensive run that they need here tonight, down 11. Aveva over to Stewart, guarded by Ward, and she drives into the paint off the glass. Rebound to Marsh. Montevallo going to try and go quickly, nearly losing the ball.
Committed by number 20 for the Warhawks, Nadia Stewart. First personal.
But a personal foul is called on Nadia Stewart, and Ward will inbound from Montevallo. 3 fouls for AUM.
And it looks like at some point Paige Ward maybe got hit in the nose. Looks like she had a little bit of a bloody nose. Has a swab there, so she's still back out there, though. It shows you the toughness of some of these players.
Marsh in the corner, out to Philpott, who tries to find Smith. It pops into the hands of Marsh instead. The runner in the lane is good.
A nice job by Deasia Marsh there. And we're looking for the better shot. Could have settled for the jump shot, but looking for a better shot.
That's the first points in a long time by Montevallo. They are down 9. Strain in the corner for 3. Air ball. Stewart there for the rebound. Her putback, no good. Cross shot isn't good. And Smith gets it from Montevallo and goes the other way.
The Falcons just battling on the boards. Every rebound is tough to get tonight, but they're hanging in there.
Sane in the corner to Marsh for 3. Bounces off the iron. Sane tried to get the rebound, but Strain gets it for AUM instead. Stewart, guarded by Ward here. 7:22 left to go in the game. Montevallo down 9. Screen set by Aveva. Stewart passes inside to Cross. Back out to Aveva, who commits the travel. And it'll be Falcons basketball substitutions for both sides. Bailey Wolf and Aaliyah Malord to check in. And then for Montevallo, Cheyenne Cunningham and Jamekia Maureen.
Kyla Rooks coming back in the last minute there as well for the Warhawks.
Rooks leads the Warhawks in steals and assists, so anyone needs to control the ball down the stretch, it will be Rooks. Cunningham looking for a pass, finds Marine in the corner. Philpott for 3, no good. Rebound to Croft.
A nice look there in the corner. She was open, and with a 9-point deficit here, 6 minutes to play, you've got to take that shot.
Strain. Moving screen is called against Bailey Wolf, so it'll be Montevallo basketball. And the Falcons are getting the ball back due to some mental mistakes by the Warhawks.
Certainly a couple mistakes, some nice defense, collapsing in the post again. They're playing well defensively. The question is, can they do something on the other end of the floor? Can they get an open 3-point shot to go down? Can they get a drive to the basket in the and one? Got to get something going offensively.
And you got to think it needs to come in this possession. Marine over to Sane. Trying to find a crease in the paint. Can't. Gives it to Smith. Back out to Marine. Thought about the three. And she is fouled, it seems like, on that, but no whistle from the official. A lot of contact there by Malord as she got the hand of Marine.
Yeah, probably not the best look there either for Marine, who's struggling a little bit from the floor tonight. But you can't try to do too much. You gotta, since where the game's at, how you're playing tonight, and you got to look for the best option offensively.
AUM basketball nonetheless. Kyla Rooks over the strain to Malord, who is fouled by Sane.
Committed by number 11 for the Falcons, Kaya Sane. Third personal.
That's the third personal on Sane. The Falcons can't afford for her to get into foul trouble. She's leading the team in scoring tonight. Got to keep her on the floor.
And that's only the second team foul for Montevallo, so the Warhawks will just inbound it here. Malord guarded by Marine. Wolf sets the screen. Malord dribbles around, hands off to Strain. Back to Malord in the corner. Bounce pass to Strain, who bounces it inside to Wolf, who is heavily guarded but gets her own offensive rebound and is fouled. Made the putback, but foul before the shot, so basket will not count.
That's number 4 on Kia Sane. Not what you hope for in that situation. The size of Bailey Wolf, again, we mentioned she only comes in averaging 3.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, but just the size that she has in the post presents a problem. The Sane comes to the bench for the Falcons.
Yeah, bone break will come on here. 9-point lead still for AUM as Montevallo nearly gets the turnover off the inbounds pass, but Kyla Rooks comes up with it. Fresh shot clock for the Warhawks as we approach 5 minutes to go. Croft is fouled on her way to the basket. It was Jamaica Maureen who commits the foul.
Number 3 for the Falcons, Jamaica Maureen. Second personal. 4th team foul. Shooting 2 for your.
And that's the 4th foul as a team for Montevallo now. So the next would automatically be 2 free throws for the Warhawks.
Yeah, the Falcons probably going to be in a situation where they're going to need to foul down the stretch anyway.
And so the free throw attempt bounced off the back iron and hit the top rope above the shot clock. So they're going to say it does not count, basket interference, so she'll reshoot the free throw.
Yeah, she just gets the second shot. First one doesn't count.
Yeah, first one doesn't count. So the second one is missed. And that's a huge break from Montevallo.
Yeah, the Falcons have caught a few breaks here. Timeout, Gary Van Hatta want to draw something up, try to get something going offensively.
And this is a huge possession here. The timeout will turn into a media timeout, and we'll take a break here on the Falcon Athletic Network as AUM leads 40-31. Welcome back in. Montevallo trails the Warhawks 31-40. It'll be Falcons basketball out of the media timeout. Under 5 minutes to go. Philpott over to Bone Break. Back to Philpott. Inside to Cunningham. Bounce pass to Smith. Layup no good. That one just barely missed.
Exactly how he drew it up in the timeout. Coach Gary Van Etta drew it up in the timeout there, got the good look, just couldn't finish.
And just very unfortunate on that miss is Courtney Smith. AUM basketball. Malord driving inside. Bounce pass to Wolf, whose layup just barely rolls in. The luck was in her favor there. 11-point lead. Marine for three, knocks it down. What a huge shot.
Yeah, that was huge there for the Falcons.
42-34.
Bailey Wolf tonight, we mentioned, not averaging, 3.3 points, 2.7 rebounds. She's got 7.7 rebounds here for the Warhawks.
And she has been huge in that. She's used her size to her advantage. 6'3". Rooks jump shot in the lane, no good. And an offensive foul on the rebound. They're going to get Reagan Croft as she pushed the Falcons. So it'll be Montevallo basketball, 42-34, and that huge three-pointer by Marine puts Montevallo in a perfect position to try and go on a run with 3:52 left to go as another timeout is taken.
Yeah, certainly. And Maureen, that's the first shot she's made tonight. You hope that gives her a little momentum down the stretch. You really need her offensively. You've got Sane. She's scored well tonight, 10 points for the Falcons. But you're looking for somebody else to kind of step in here to help overcome this 8-point deficit with 3 minutes, 52 seconds left in the game.
How important is this win? Is it for Montevallo to get a win here tonight?
It's really important. Obviously, they've been few and far between this year. Only 2 wins on the season. There's games you can look at and you say, we might have a shot at that one. And typically, they're at home. Typically, when you're playing at home, you feel like you've got a better chance. At halftime, as we mentioned, though, the Falcons tonight, for only the second time this year, had a lead at halftime. So this one, after that first half, was one you could say, okay, this is one we've got a shot. It's really important. Obviously, the schedule only gets more difficult from here, and you have to pinpoint your spots. This is one of the few times this year the Falcons have had a single digits with just under 4 minutes to play.
And the Falcons
Can they pull it off?
The Falcons are 2-17 on the season. I've lost 14 in a row, so just be a great confidence booster for these young freshmen to get a win here tonight. And they'll try it here as Nautica Philpott brings it forward for Montevallo. 3:47 to go, 42-34 lead for AUM.
Yeah, I think the confidence is they've built some confidence with the way they played on the road tonight so far.
And Marine knocks down another three. Montevallo right back in it.
Marine heating up. She can get hot quickly.
She really can. 5-point game, and the defensive pressure will be on by the Falcons here. Wolf over to Stewart, guarded by Cunningham, and the crowd has gone silent here. Strain commits to travel. Montevallo basketball, and the Falcons are doing everything they can on the defensive end to force these mistakes.
Certainly. You got it. Coach Gary Van Etta has got to like the way his team's responding right now. On the road in a difficult environment. It could have gotten out of hand, and here they have. They've got it down to 5 points with 3:18 left.
And it was an 11-point lead, and all of a sudden Montevallo's right back in it. Smith out to Philpott. She'll try a three, and it is good. Nautica Philpott buries it. It's a 2-point game here, folks.
The Falcons have made their last 3 3-pointers. They've turned it back up. They shot well in the first period, went cold in the second, third. Now it's coming back at just the right time with just under 3 minutes to play.
2:53 to go. AUM clinging to a 2-point lead. Bullard falls down, gives it to Stewart, to Aveva in the corner to Strain. Back out to Aveva, 6 on the shot clock. Gives it to Strain, who will try a three. No good. Philpott gets the rebound and loses it. Aveva gets it back. But before that, Coach Dan Davis will call a timeout. It'll be AUM basketball. Philpott got the rebound and tried to dribble through 2 defenders and just lost the ball.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. She's a freshman. She'll learn. She probably got too ahead of herself right there with a 2-point game, 2:30 on the clock. Every possession is vitally important. And I think she felt like that's the type of player she is. She wants to get out in transition and get something going. But the game awareness will come. 2 points. You got to value your possessions down the stretch. Probably not the best bet to try to get out in transition, like you said, dribbling, trying to go between 2 defenders. But that's something these freshmen will learn. They'll get better. But tonight, it's a 2-point game with 2.5 minutes left. You got to be happy if you're the Montevallo coaching staff and Gary Van Etta that you've gotten an opportunity to pull out a win here on the road.
And how about Montevallo has knocked 3 threes in a row?
Yeah, the shooting has returned. The hot hand and Maureen finally, you knew eventually she would get going, and she got going here at a critically important time for Montevallo.
It was 42-29 moments ago, and now it's 42-40.
Screener, watch out.
Bullard over to Strain, down low, or down over to Stewart, who gives it to Aveva in the corner to Bullard, the leading scorer tonight for AUM. 7 on the shot clock. Bullard nearly loses the ball. 3 on the shot clock. And Maureen comes up with the steal. And she has it taken away out of bounds. It'll be Montevallo basketball. I don't even think Maureen realized Stewart was behind her there. She thought she had an open lane to the basket, but Stewart knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it was a little too late. She sensed that she was on her. Too late for her to try to get the shot off. You got to love the effort defensively, though. The Falcons are making AUM work for everything right now.
Maureen in the lane. No good. Aveva the rebound. 1:58 left to go. Stewart brings it across half court.
Courtney Smith fell hard here underneath the basket on the other end. Hopefully she's okay. She's back up on the defensive end of the floor. But the pressure, Falcons have got to keep up the pressure.
Rooks to the left side, guarded by Smith now. Gives it to Aveva. Down low to Croft, who puts it in. And that was a clutch play for the Warhawks. 4-point lead. A minute and a half to go. Montevallo very much in this, and the crowd starting to get back on their feet.
Yeah, that was a one-on-one situation. No help there defensively, and the Warhawks got the basket.
And a deep three by Maureen. Rattles around the rim 3 times and comes out.
You thought that one's in. It looked like
goodness.
It was in.
That was down in the hole. But AUM comes up with it nonetheless. 1:07 to go.
Falcons trying to give the foul there.
And Rooks will go to the line for 2 shots. And man, back to that Maureen play. That 3 was in the basket and just bounced out.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Rolls around and rolls off the rim. But a great look. Got to keep shooting. Got to keep shooting. Can't let your confidence go here. You've got to keep shooting. You've got to keep working, keep fighting.
And Rooks knocks it down the free throw to give the Warhawks a 5-point lead.
Rooks only 12 of 17 at the line this year. She doesn't shoot many free throws, but 70% at the line when she gets there.
That one is missed, but Cheyenne Cunningham comes up the rebound. It'll be a jump ball.
Great effort by Cheyenne Cunningham getting that rebound, the tie-up, Montevallo possession.
And it'll be Montevallo basketball down 5, 2-possession game, and they'll roll it from out of bounds, and Nautica Philpott will pick it up on Montevallo's side of the court.
You don't have to have a 3 right now. You can look for something inside if you need to.
Maureen gets blocked on her 3 attempt. It goes out of bounds, though. Will be Montevallo basketball still. Maureen tried to force it there.
Yeah, you don't want to rush anything. You don't want to force it. You still got time to look for the best opportunity offensively. You're not in panic mode. You don't have to just shoot a 3. You've got an opportunity. You've got Nautica Philpott out there. You've got your 3-point shooters. Can you drive, try to kick it out if they're open, or just go straight to the rim? Try to get something.
Philpott inbounding, finds Maureen, and she has 3 players on her. 3 no good. Goes out of bounds. And 1 official signaled AUM basketball, 1 signaled Montevallo basketball. And after the officials talk, it will be Montevallo ball.
Yeah. Again, Maureen forcing that one. Not the best look for the Falcons.
Inbounded to Maureen. She's looking for something. Can't get it to go. Courtney Smith with the offensive board. Has it knocked away, and a loose ball foul is going to be called against Shanna Strain. A lot of craziness there on that possession as Smith had it taken away. Loose ball foul.
A lot of effort there. A lot of effort. Yeah. The thing is you're trying to force it too much. So that's hurting you offensively. But that edge is also helping you. They're fighting for every loose ball. You just got to be smart. With 5-point deficit here with 40 seconds to play, you got to make your free throws.
Yeah, 10-second difference. These are crucial for Smith here. And she misses the first. 5-point game.
Yeah, Smith shooting 63% at the line this year.
And these are probably the biggest free throws of her career. The second no good as well. Aveva the rebound. And Sane fouls Aveva, and that's going to be Sane's 5th foul.
Yeah, that's a tough foul to give right there. Time becoming an issue with only 38 seconds on the clock, but
they're actually going to say
awareness 4 on Sane. 4 on Sane.
Warhawks are in the bonus.
They may have called it on Marine, actually. As both Sane and Marine are there for the rebound.
Yeah,
so they do
4th
get,
on Marine.
Yeah, they do get Marine there. So Sane will stay in the game with 4 fouls. Clutch free throw is knocked down by Aveva, and that's a 6-point lead. And at this point, you got to think threes on the other end.
Yeah, it's you've got to shoot a 3 on the other end, try to dig into this deficit.
And Aveva knocks it down, and Coach Venata will take a timeout. His team down 7 with 37 seconds to go, and we'll take a brief break and be back here on the Falcon Athletic Network. And Montevallo will try and cut into the 7-point lead, but not much time to do so, just 37.5 remaining.
Yeah.
And the ball is stolen by Nadia Stewart. And Marine commits her 5th foul.
Committed by number 3.
A lot of freshmen on the floor right now. You look out there, you've got 4 of them, 3 of them, excuse me, and that's just kind of what happens when you're young roster. You got to...
Well, really, 4. I mean, Cassane is a redshirt freshman herself. So.
Yeah.
And another freshman, Cheyenne Cunningham, comes in.
And I think it's important to mention before that timeout, we talked about free throws. The Falcons missed 2 on their end.
Yep.
And a 64% shooter, Avleva, for the Warhawks, knocks down 2. Those extra 2 points are critical.
And in football, sometimes I talk about it comes down to inches, but in basketball, it really comes down to your free throw shooting in times. And this is a game,
down the stretch,
for example, where free throw shooting has made the difference. Montevallo went on an improbable run. We're down 42-29 and got it within 2 points, but could not take the lead there.
It's 47-40. AUM is 9 of 19. The Falcons are 2 of 11. There's your 7 points right there.
Rooks knocks down another free throw. Coach Venata takes a timeout. 48-40. 32 seconds left to go. Any hope?
You just gotta keep shooting. You gotta keep shooting. That's you don't want this is an opportunity for the freshmen to. It's good for them to get to play in a situation like this. There haven't been many games this year where they've been within single digits in the final few minutes. So they'll take this as a learning experience. It's 8 points with 32 seconds to go. It's just an opportunity. How do you respond? How do you respond? That's what Coach Gary Venata is looking for right now. Such a young roster. What does he have in these players? How much fight? How much effort? They keep trying down the stretch and don't give up. Keep just trying to chip away at that 8-point deficit right now.
Ward will inbound. 31 seconds left to go. Cunningham down low. Spin move. Layup no good. Rebound to Croft. Gives it to Strain, and Ward will foul with 23 seconds. 8-point lead for AUM. And one thing I want to point out here, only one player from Montevallo in double-digit scoring, and that's Kaya Sane with 10. No one has really been able to take charge here offensively for Montevallo. It's been very balanced, but the scoring numbers are low.
Yeah, that's been the story all year. But you think Maureen comes in, she's your only scorer in double figures. And she had the cold start, so Sane picked it up. Like you said, you've gotten some balanced scoring tonight, but you got to have that one player. You got to have the one player that you know you can go to. And tonight it was kind of Sane in the first half and Maureen in the second. And they've done a good job. They've kept it close, but It's a nine-point deficit here with 23 seconds to go.
And that free throw is made. 49-40 is the lead with 23 seconds left to go. Montevallo is a team that averages about 61 points a game, but has only been able to muster 40 points tonight, and part of that is due to the tough defense by AUM. Montevallo was shooting just 28% from the field, but AUM is shooting just 29%. Montevallo's defense has been there as well, but the difference is free throw shooting.
Yeah, neither team has shot the ball well tonight. The one difference, as you mentioned, AUM much better at the free throw line. And one of the odd things about the Falcons tonight, only 28% from the field, but 30% from beyond the arc. And honestly, that three-point shooting has made the difference. That's what's kept them close tonight.
In this game.
But free throws, obviously, the story. AUM 11 of 23, not great, but compared to 2 of 11 for the Falcons, it's the difference in the game right now.
And not too much difference in the turnover battle as well. Montevallo has turned it over 16 times, AUM 15 times. So, I mean, from a number standpoint, when you look at things, it is the free throw shooting.
Yeah, it's very even except for the free throw shooting. And I think Coach Van Atta will be happy with the way the Falcons protected the ball tonight. Turnovers have led to a lot of the bigger margins this year. When you look at some of the losses, the Falcons just haven't taken care of the ball. It's been a pretty tough environment here in the second half. You got to be pleased with how they've been able to take care of the ball here at AUM.
49-40, Montevallo will get another chance here. Down 9, 22 seconds to go. Sane with the ball, guarded heavily. Gives it to Philpott. Over to Bone Break. To Cunningham for 3. No good. Sane coming in for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Warhawk basketball. It's been off of Sane with 10.1 to go. It's a 9-point lead. And you got to think Coach Manata will call the dogs off here, and Montevallo will just let Aveva dribble the clock out here with 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take it as a learning experience. A young group. It was a close game in the fourth quarter. You know, it's one of those things, like they got to play in that environment to be able to grow as they get older, as they get more mature, to be able to pull games like this out. You got it. It's a manageable game in the fourth period. You got to learn how to win. Falcons have got to learn how to win. And this is an opportunity for them to see how they respond tonight with a close game in the fourth period.
And at times they were really good, and then at times they weren't as well. But AUM comes away with the victory 49-40, their 8th win of the season. Montevallo falls to 2-18 on the season. Still has not been able to get a win in conference. And in a second, we'll get to talk to Coach Van Atta here. Stay with us here on the Falcon Athletic Network. And welcome back here on the Falcon Athletic Network. I'm joined by Coach Van Atta. Coach, your team fought hard there at the end, but AUM got the victory 49-40.
Yeah, I tell you, we just made freshman mistakes. You know, right at the end of the game, we cut it to 2, had the opportunity, and then turned the ball over, couldn't get a rebound. Then we bring the ball in and throw it to go right to the other team. You know, right. Just things you just can't predict. Like I said, when you're a freshman, when you're young, and you haven't been in this situation pretty much since the beginning of the year, it's a tough lesson to learn.
And we always talk about the freshmen, but at times tonight they were brilliant. I mean, toward the end of the game, it was 42-29, and all of a sudden it's 42-40. Jamaica Marine got going as well as others.
Like I said, it's a talented team that just like I said, there's no consistency there right now. They don't know how to improve their game as they go throughout the game, how to maintain it. You know, there's always these ebbs and lows. There's always a high tide and a low tide. And our job is to try to get it to be, an even tide all the time. And when you're young like we are, every experience is different. Every experience is new. But, I was proud of I put 3 things on the board. I want them to compete, I want them to focus, and I want them to communicate. I thought we competed, I thought we communicated, but I thought we lost our focus at the end.
And one of the big things here was the huge size mismatch. AUM hauled in 50 rebounds while Montevallo just got 36. How big of a difference was that size?
It's always a difference, you know. But despite that, we still, with 2 minutes to go, it's a 2-point game.
Right.
So they don't always tell the story. But, you know, we're almost a 70% free throw shooting team. We go 2 for 11 from the free throw line. You know, just costly turnovers at the end. So I thought we fought and scrapped. But when they needed the big rebound, like I said, all the kids, the big kids ahead, they seemed to get it, and that was the difference of the game.
All right, well, Coach, thank you for joining us here. Travel to West Georgia this weekend, another tough road contest, and good luck in that game.
Thanks, I appreciate you guys coming. Thanks.
Well, that'll do it for our coverage of the women's game as AUM gets the victory 49-40. We'll be back here for the men's game in about 20 minutes or so. Stay with us here on the Falcon Athletic Network. Hello and welcome back into AUM Gymnasium. I'm Wyatt Hall, joined by Montevallo Sports Information Director Wesley Hallman as we get set for the men's matchup between the Montevallo Falcons and the hosting AUM Warhawks. And before we get to the starting lineups, this will be a crucial matchup in the Gulf South Conference. Montevallo looking to get their fourth win in a row after knocking off Union at home, and AUM looking for their second win in a row after knocking off number 13 West Florida on the road. AUM is playing their best basketball of the season as of late, as they have wins over North Alabama, West Florida, and Christian Brothers, all top teams in the Gulf South.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a big conference matchup. Both teams are coming in with playing some of their best basketball of the year. The Falcons have, they've moved all the way up to fourth in the conference standings right now. They're playing for a host seed. They want to host the first round quarterfinal game in the conference tournament. And the key to the success there to do that is you got to win at home and you got to steal a few on the road that you can steal. Tonight, looking at it on paper, this is a game that they can steal on the road. For AUM, it's all about making the conference tournament. They want to be in the conference tournament at the end of the year, one of those 8 seeds that gets in. And the win on your home floor against the Montevallo team helps you go a long way toward doing that.
Well, unfortunately, AUM isn't eligible to participate in the 13 tournament.
That's true. Got to have myself there. I'm in the tournament. They can't get there yet. Next year.
Hey, but it would be a boost of confidence to know that they would be in there if they would be eligible. They're still in the process of making that move from NAIA to D2. But
reclassification. Yeah, I got ahead of myself there, putting them in. But at least you get to know, as a coach, this year you can't get there, but how do you play when it's off the table? How do you respond? You want to go into that first year when you are eligible with some momentum coming off a good year.
And it's almost like there's no pressure. Just kind of feeling it out, and that's allowed this team to play pretty well here as a late 8-10 on the season. Montevallo 11-9. This is the 50th meeting all time between Montevallo and AUM. So reigniting an old rivalry that took place back in the NAIA days. AUM leads the series 27-22. Let's get a look at our starters. First for Montevallo is Jamar Gilbert, Jamar Taylor, Deshaun Jones, Julio Guidi, and Jeremiah Curtis. For the hosting Warhawks, it's Kenneth Keith, Desmond DeRamus, Jarrett Croft, Reagan Eubanks, and Lafayette James Core. No Chris Williams in the starting lineup for Montevallo.
Yeah, Chris not in the starting lineup tonight. He's been banged up a little bit all year. He's playing through some injuries. You hope that he can come off the bench tonight and give you a few good minutes. You're going to need some scoring, that's for sure. You're going to need some scoring. Going back to the point you made, though, about these two teams in the NAIA history, this is really Montevallo's first rival. Montevallo started intercollegiate athletics back in the 50s, joined the NAIA in the 60s. Auburn-Montgomery was the first school, 50 minutes apart. There's a lot of people in the building tonight. I think we'll have an excited crowd. Looking forward to restoring this rivalry on an annual basis.
Julio Guidi wins the tip facing off against Croft. It goes in the hands of Jones, and Gilbert will take it now and run the offense for Montevallo. Over to Taylor. Taylor driving in the paint. Gets it to go through Reagan Eubanks. Jamar Taylor is almost unstoppable when he puts his head down in the paint. AUM will go the other way. James Core over to Kenneth Keith. Down to Croft. Double teamed in the corner. And Croft throws it away. Jamar Gilbert trying to go coast to coast.
Like I mentioned, these two be big rivals, a budding South. You like the energy that the Falcons have come out with here at the start.
Curtis comes up with another steal. Takes it away from Croft as they try and go down low to him. Gilbert ahead to Taylor. Thought about a three, but will take it in the paint instead and kick out to Jones. Jones brings it to the top, gives it to Gilbert. Back over to Taylor. Taylor trying to go to the left side. Gives it to Guidi at the elbow. Guidi has a shot clock. Taylor step back three. No good. Rebound to Kenneth Keith. And Taylor knocks away the ahead pass and gives it to Gilbert. Montevallo 3 steals already.
You like that response from Jamar Taylor. He misses the three, but he gets back and forces the turnover on the other end.
Gilbert with the ball for Montevallo. Handoff Taylor. Swings it to Jones. Jones directing traffic. Gives it back to Gilbert. Over to Curtis. To Jones, who drives in the paint and is fouled on his way in.
Foul committed by number
And Jones will go to the line to shoot 2.
The Falcons driving to the basket early, trying to get some points in the paint. Hopefully open up the three-point shot. Nice start by Montevallo here. 4-0 lead with just under 2 minutes into the game.
And Jones knocks out that one down. And he'll have another attempt at the line. Knocks that down. Eubanks the other way, throws it out of bounds. Montevallo basketball. AUM cannot get anything going offensively.
Now, a slow start here for the Warhawks. You like the way the game is getting off to the start here. Montevallo is bringing a lot of energy here. The crowd hadn't got anything to get excited about yet. You want to keep it that way as long as possible.
Curtis bounce pass to Taylor, who goes crashing to the hoop and gets it to go. Montevallo 8-0 lead. And the Warhawks are just confused, and they call a timeout. Michael Cheney will have a chat with his team, down 8.
Nice start by Montevallo. You couldn't imagine getting off to a better start. You know, you got the crowd, nothing to cheer about. They're waiting. You see them, they're on their feet. But an 8-0 run here to start the game by Montevallo, and the strength of Jamar Taylor's game. Driving to the basket, been able to get 2 early ones. He's playing well. Great start for Montevallo.
And Jamar Taylor is so effective. 23 points in the game against Union. And you talk about his ability to score when he drives to the hole. He also can get to the free throw line. Was 8 of 8 from the line in the game against Union as well, which fair to be pretty big down the stretch as Montevallo only won by 3 points.
All right, Warhawk Nation, make some noise for your AUL.
And we'll see what Coach Cheney said to his team out of the timeout. A lot of experience for Michael Cheney at the D1, D2, D3, and NAIA level.
Yeah, both great coaches tonight in this matchup. I mean, the impressive resumes. Denny Young, Montevallo's winningest coach in program history, taking the team to the cusp of a national championship game back in 2011 and 12.
And AUM with the ball now. Lafayette, James Core driving in, gives it to Kenneth Keith. Out to Reagan Eubanks, the leading scorer for the Warhawks, and he buries home a 3. So really the first offensive possession that they're able to use majority of the shot clock results in a 3.
First shot of the game.
Yeah, first shot. Bounce pass by Deshaun Jones, reverse layup by Taylor. What a pass that was by Jones.
And that was critical for the Falcons to answer. The crowd got excited after that first made 3. Come back with an answer there. Very important.
Eubanks tries to answer himself. He can't. Julio Guidi comes crashing in. Jeremiah Curtis is on top of him. Taylor the other way runs into Curtis. Eubanks comes up with the steal. Throws it ahead to number 3, Desmond DeRamus, who is fouled on his way to the hole.
Yeah, the Falcons couldn't get out of their own way there. As you mentioned, Guidi and Curtis tied up down here. And then Taylor runs into his teammate on the other end of the floor.
Yeah, and
a little confusion there.
Reagan Eubanks had kind of run out of bounds. It was coming back into the play. Taylor didn't see him, was trying to throw it to Jones, and Eubanks just intercepted it perfectly. After the foul, Kenneth Keith will inbound under AUM's own basket.
And they're going to put 27 seconds back on the shot clock here. The foul committed. Rule change in NCAA basketball this year. A foul on the floor, reset to 20 if it's under 20, but if it's more than 20, it stays where it's at. So it's staying at 27.
Gilbert tries to get the steal from Eubanks. Eubanks out of bounds, throws it away. And Montevallo would come up with the steal, but Eubanks was out of bounds, so it will still be Montevallo basketball. Very sloppy offensively as AUM so far.
Yeah, you can tell they're playing with little nerves here first 4 minutes of the game. And thankfully for the Falcons, they've been able to build a lead, keep the crowd from jumping in right off the bat.
Curtis at the elbow, handoff Taylor. Taylor in the lane, throws it away. It's another turnover for Jamar Taylor. Eubanks with the steal. And he goes into the body of Gilbert, draws the foul. Eubanks is averaging 15.5 per game, along with 4.4 rebounds. The senior out of Spanish for Alabama transferred to AUM from Faulkner State Community College.
Coming in for the Falcons would be number 12, Tyler Brown.
Tyler Bruff comes in to the game. One of the best three-point shooters on this team, just behind Jamar Taylor. And Tyler Bruff likes to shoot him from beyond NBA range.
Yes, he can. He's got that range, and he can get hot quickly.
James Core driving in for AUM against Guidi. Beautiful jumper. Gets it to go. 10-5. Montevallo leading by 5 here. Jones guarded by Kenneth Keith. Gives it to Taylor, over to Bruff. To Deshaun Jones. He goes down low to Guidi, who's double teamed. Out to Jones in the corner for 3. Rattles out. And it goes out of bounds off of AUM. Will remain Montevallo basketball.
Falcons ball. Timeout on the play.
Yeah, nice look there by Jones. Falcons are hot here early. 4 of 6 from the field. A nice look there. Just didn't go down for him, but you can't ask for a better start from Montevallo.
10-5, Montevallo has the lead here, and they played well despite the turnovers, as you mentioned. But we'll take a quick break here and return to AUM Gymnasium for the final, or the remaining 15 minutes of the first half. Stay with us on the Falcon Athletic Network. Welcome back in. Montevallo taking on AUM. Deshaun Jones with the basketball for Montevallo. Over to Bruff. To Taylor. Back over to Bruff. Nearly loses it in the trap. Gives it back to Taylor. Taylor inside to Curtis. Curtis tries to go to Bruff in the corner. He gives it to Guidi. And with 1 on the shot clock, Taylor has to fire something up. Hits the rim. Rebound to Croft. For AUM.
The Falcons will look for Jamar Taylor late in the shot clock on every possession. He's their go-to guy to try to get a basket. Couldn't get that one. Still 10-5.
And Gilbert will get set to check back in here from Montevallo. Kenneth Keith in the corner. 4-3 is good. 8-10.
The crowd starting to get into it a little bit here after that made 3. Again, the Falcons have done a good job answering early on. Can they continue to do that?
Guidi on the block. Bounce pass to Curtis. Out to Deshaun Jones. Back to Curtis. He'll shoot it. No good. Curtis known for his shooting stroke, but can't get it to go there.
He's got a nice touch from 15 to 18 feet out. Just couldn't get that one to fall.
And a 3 ball by Kenneth Keith is knocked down again for AUM, and they have the 1-point lead. This is very similar to the women's game. Montevallo got out to an early lead, and then AUM came roaring back due to 3-point shooting.
Yeah, Kenneth Keith, 36% on the year. He's made 2 big ones so far.
Taylor trapped on the baseline, gives it to Curtis from the free throw line. He nails it. And that's that sweet touch that Curtis has on display there. 1-point lead for Montevallo. Eubanks over to Lafayette. James Core to Kenneth Keith. And they're going to get Jarrett Croft with a foul away from the ball as he was working on the block against Curtis. Croft, the big 6'10 center out of Franklin, Tennessee. His sister, Reagan Croft, plays on the women's team. We just saw her play prior to this game.
Yeah, both similar players. Reagan Croft, a post player as well. And as you mentioned, Jared Croft brings in 6'10" size for AUM, and the Falcons counter with a 6'8" Julio Guidi and Jeremiah Curtis. So you gotta try to take advantage of the size there for your AUM, but the Falcons can answer.
Bounce pass from Chris Williams to Guidi. Guidi can't convert the lay-in. Jarrett Croft the rebound, and Chris Williams is checked back into the game for Montevallo, and he brings a lot to the floor.
Yeah, 15 points a game. He's a big factor offensively for the Falcons.
Keith loses the pass, but gets it back, gives it to Eubanks. Over to James Core for three. No good. Rebound to Chris Williams. And Williams will bring it across half court here. Looking for someone, finds Tyler Updike, who has checked in. The graduate transfer from UNC Wilmington. Curtis driving to the hole, gets it blocked by James Core. Croft comes up with the rebound. Kenneth Keith brings it the other way. Ahead to DeRamus, who will try a three. No good. Gilbert the rebound, and several times, as we see it there, 3 or 4 Falcons are there for the defensive rebound, almost getting in each other's way.
Yeah, Montevallo doing a good job rebounding defensively.
Taylor, Gilbert to the hole, converts the lay-in just past the hand of Croft. It's a 14-11 lead for Montevallo. DeRamus guarded by Gilbert here. Screen set by James Core. DeRamus dribbles around it and finds Keith driving to the hole. Croft on the putback is good. 1 point lead for Montevallo.
You can see the size of Julio Guidi impacted that first shot, but nobody there for the rebound led to the second chance point for the Warhawks.
Gilbert brings it across. He's guarded by Keith. We'll go to the right side. Bounce pass inside to Curtis, trying to turn against Croft. Jump shot no good. Eubanks tries to save it out of bounds, but it will be Montevallo basketball. And as we have 11:32 to go, that'll bring us a media timeout. Zach Jackson will check in for Montevallo after the timeout. And we'll take a quick break and be back here as Montevallo leads the Warhawks by 1, 14-13. Welcome back in as the Falcons have a narrow lead against the Warhawks, 14-13. Zach Jackson is on the floor for Montevallo now. Tyler Updike to inbound for the Falcons under their own basket, and a foul is called as DeRamus went to take away the pass. It was intended for Gilbert. Gilbert got him on the arm, so it'll be AUM basketball. That's the third team foul.
Falcons would be number 10. Deshaun Jones.
Deshaun Jones will come back in for Gilbert. DeRamus driving, kicks out to James Core. Handoff, Kenneth Keith. Back out to James Core. His three ball is good. Lafayette, James Core was the leading scorer in AUM's win over West Florida.
Auburn-Montgomery 4 of 7 from beyond the arc here so far. Hot shooting is making the difference. They've been able to erase an early start by the Falcons.
Chris Williams tries a three. No good. Long rebound out to Greedy, and he gives it to Deshaun Jones to reset the Falcon offense.
Get up here, Chris.
No Jamar Taylor on the floor, so likely the ball will be in the hands of Chris Williams to score.
Yep.
Guidi gives it to Updike to Jones in the corner. 9 on the shot clock. Jones driving baseline. Throws up a floater, no good. Keith grabs the rebound. DeRamus finds James Core, who will try a 3 again. No good. Croft the offensive rebound. Great hustle play.
Yeah, the size there. Croft able to get the rebound over the 6'8" Julio Guidi there.
DeRamus in the corner to Keith, driving baseline. Beautiful lay-in. 18-14, 4-point lead for AUM. Williams over to Jones. Handoff Jackson. Back to Williams in the corner to Updike. Jackson top of the key. He drives inside. Tries to go down low to Guidi. Goes off the foot of Lafayette James Core and will remain Montevallo basketball. And Jamar Taylor will check in.
For the Falcons, number 5, Jamar Taylor.
Taylor averaging 23 points a game. Updike inbounds it. Zach Jackson gets it. Lay in, no good. James Core the rebound.
Yeah, tough going for the Falcons after they got to the basket early on, but it's been more difficult lately. The Warhawks have stepped it up in the post.
Keith looking for someone, finds DeRamus. Goes back out to the top. Driving right side. Kicks it out to Keith. Goes baseline and gets blocked by Chris Williams. And it'll be AUM basketball. They'll inbound with 2 on the shot clock. Could possibly see a catch and shoot maybe to James Croft, or Jarrett Croft rather, crashing at the basket.
Yeah, but also looking for Eubanks in the corner.
And they find Eubanks in the corner, but he airballs that. And it goes in the hands of Williams ahead to Updike. Great hesitation, but Updike is blocked by DeRamus.
Yeah, that was tough. He had a nice transition there, but couldn't finish.
James Core commits the travel. Montevallo basketball.
Falcons ball.
Montevallo started out very well, scoring 10 points very quickly, and then since then they've only scored 4.
Yeah, it's been tough lately for the Falcons to get any good looks offensively. AUM's picked it up defensively after that first 4-minute stretch.
Williams will control it from Montevallo here, gives it to Jackson, handoff Taylor, screen set by Curtis. Taylor drives in the paint, off the glass, lays it in. Fantastic play there by the Falcons.
Yeah, you can't defend that. He went from right hand to left hand so easily to lay it in. That was impressive.
And a great screen set by Curtis there. AUM ball. DeRamus, handoff Eubanks. He'll drive inside and try the bounce pass to Croft, but it's taken away by Chris Williams. Another steal for this Falcons defense here today. Williams driving in the paint. Kick out to Taylor to Updike for 3. No good. Williams the offensive rebound, but his putback is no good. Croft gets it for AUM. DeRamus the other way for 3. Buries it.
Yeah, that was a, shot. He had 3 defenders back, but nobody had a hand in his face. And it didn't take a dribble, straight to with a shot. 21-16 lead now for AUM.
It's back to a 5-point lead. Chris Williams driving in is blocked by Croft. DeRamus quickly the other way to Eubanks. Pass that to James Core. He slams it home.
And this is where you have to really be careful if you're the Falcons. You don't want the building to get excited. They're starting to feel it a little bit. 23-16 lead.
And that was a huge shift in momentum. It is loud here in the AUM gymnasium. Williams inside to Curtis. Hand off Taylor for 3. Taylor can't knock it down. It goes out of bounds. Chris Williams tries to knock it back, but it'll be AUM basketball. We'll have a media timeout here with 7:18, and it has shifted all in AUM's favor.
Yeah, the crowd's getting into the game. The big dunk there. This is pivotal for the Falcons here in the final 7:18 in the first half. You want to keep this game close. You want to keep it close. You want to try to fight back, try to cut that deficit down as we get closer to halftime. You definitely don't want it to start the excited crowd here. You don't want to give them anything to get excited about. You got to respond. Every time AUM goes on a run, you've got to come back with one of your own, keep it from getting out of hand.
And in Montevallo, they did get the win against Union, but if you look at it from another number standpoint, not a very good game for Montevallo. Only 6 assists in that game. They got very stagnant at times, and they're starting to kind of look like that same team here tonight.
Yeah, they are in a way. You do have to like the ball movement. They just had a couple open looks that wouldn't go down. Tyler Updike, that was a nice feed from Jamar in the corner. He could have taken a 3, but thought maybe Tyler Updike had a better look at it, and Updike just couldn't get it to fall. So I think you like the ball movement. The bottom line is for the Falcons, if the first option offensively doesn't work, you got to look for Jamar Taylor with the shot clock winding down, and he's got to try to go score the ball.
And the key is really going to be the bigs of Curtis and Greedy, the way they set the screens and open up the holes for Jamar Taylor, because if he has a lane, he is almost unstoppable.
Yeah, he's very quick, can get to the basket very, very fast. He can finish at the rim.
And he can go to the left or to the right. It doesn't matter. Back to play here in the first half. AUM ball. Eubanks tries a 3, misses it. Guidi comes down with the rebound and almost throws it away. Is knocked away by DeRamus and goes out of bounds, but it'll remain Montevallo basketball. Not a smart play by Guidi.
Yeah, you gotta take care of the basketball on the road. That's another thing. The Falcons have got to. They can't be careless with it. You can't give up any easy. You can't give up any easy baskets. Anything in transition.
Montevallo seeking their second win in the Gulf South Conference on the road. Their first game against Mississippi College. Jamar Taylor driving baseline reverse layup is good.
And he just turned it into a second gear there at the baseline. He blew by everybody on the baseline and scores at the rim.
The talent that Jamar Taylor has is absolutely incredible. Number 2 for AUM is checked in. It's Darion Taylor. James Core driving in. Gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
You gotta box out right there. A guy misses his first shot at the rim. You can't give him a second opportunity.
James Core, the senior out of Chicago, Illinois. Curtis, top of the key, guarded by Croft, passes it to Jones. And Jones tried to go inside to Guidi, but DeRamus takes the ball away. And Darion Taylor the other way for 3, no good. Rebound to Curtis. It's a 6-7-point lead. Tyler Bruff gets set to check back in. Deshaun Jones driving, bounce pass inside to Guidi. Guidi tries to hit Curtis, cutting inside, goes off of AUM out of bounds. Tyler Bruff comes in for Tyler Updike. Bruff inbounds to Taylor. Driving baseline, falling away is fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Taylor is so good when he gets that contact, he knows how to throw up the shot with it.
Yeah, he can definitely get to the line. The one thing you want to guard against, though, is that everybody's standing around watching Jamar Taylor go one-on-one. You gotta keep everybody involved. Otherwise, AUM's going to sense that Jamar is trying to take over.
Taylor, number 2 in the Gulf South Conference in scoring, just behind Charles Eaton of West Alabama. Taylor missed the first one. Very uncharacteristic from the line for him. Makes the second. It's a 6-point game now. Darion Taylor brings it forward for the Warhawks. Top of the key, guarded by Taylor. Number 1, Cameron Hornbuckle was checked in. And Reagan Eubanks lays that in for AUM. 27-19 lead. Deshaun Jones driving in the paint. Julio Guidi tried for the putback dunk, but it is missed. Montevallo corrals loose ball, and Deshaun Jones puts it in for 2.
You like the effort there on the boards. Didn't give up. Got a couple extra chances there, and were able to finish the last one.
DeRamus over to Taylor, to James Core in the corner to Eubanks for a 3. No good. Guidi tries to haul on the rebound, but a foul is called against Hornbuckle, the senior out of Birmingham.
Foul committed by number 1, Cameron Hornbuckle. First personal.
Montevallo will get the basketball. 4:54 left to go here in the first. The Falcons are just 6 away from the Warhawks here. Jones. Over to Greedy. Hands it off to Taylor. Taylor looking for a lane. Spin move. Off the glass is short, but Greedy is there to put it back.
I think it was actually Taylor that got his own rebound. Both of them were there. He kept, even after the miss, he crashed the boards. I think he got his hand on it.
Excellent effort on the offensive glass by both Greedy and Taylor. 4-point game now. AUM ball. Hornbuckle commits to travel. Montevallo gets it back and a chance to make it a one-possession game here.
Yeah, you got to like the way the Falcons responded after AUM went on the run. They're climbing back into it here as we get in the late stage of the first half.
If you're Coach Cheney, how do you stop Jamar Taylor?
You don't right now. You kind of just hope that nobody else gets hot. I mean, the thing is
because
Jamar Taylor scored 40 in one game and 36 in another, but the Falcons still lost it. So you're still like a shot right here by Deshaun Jones.
And a foul by DeRamus. After the play, it will be Montevallo's ball.
It will be a media timeout.
Yeah, Falcons will get the ball out of the media timeout.
Immediate timeout.
Yeah.
But talk about Jamar Taylor trying to shut him down. We've seen tonight, even if you put the double team or collapse the paint on him, he can still get through it.
Yeah, he's tough. You can double team him, but he can still find ways to score. And that's the thing about the Falcons, though, is you know what you've got with Jamar Taylor. I mean, he scored 40 against Valdosta State, 36 against West Florida, but the Falcons still weren't able to win those games. And a big reason why was the supporting cast. You got to have that supporting cast. So Jamar can take you there. He can have it a close game at the end. Need somebody that helps get over that edge. You got to have a Chris Williams also chip in. You've got to have a Jeremiah Curtis step up and have a big game. You need somebody else to step up as well as Jamar Taylor.
And on the previous possession, Jamar tried to dribble through three guys, lost the ball, got it back, and gave it to Deshaun Jones, who had an open look for three, missed it. So even if Taylor loses the ball, he's still being so aware tonight, he's able to get it back.
Yeah, when he's playing with a high energy, he is active on the boards, defensively, looking for teammates. I mean, he is a great player when he's playing at his best. And so far, he has shown a lot of energy here in the first half.
And it seems as if Taylor just has a switch that he can flip. And when he does, there's nothing you can do about it on defense. So we'll see Montevallo with the basketball here out of the media timeout. 27-23 as they got it back. Bruff inbounds to Greedy, hands off to Jones. Under 4 minutes to go in the first. Bruff guarded by Taylor, inside to Jamar Taylor. Nice pass to Greedy. Tries to dunk it home, misses it. Rebound to Hornbuckle.
In one of the rare occasions, that might have been Jamar Taylor trying to be too unselfish. He had a nice look there. He thought he had a better look down low with Julio Greedy.
James Core in the corner knocks it down. It was a long two. 29-23. Jones will set up the Falcon offense. Finds Bruff, guarded heavily by Deron Taylor. Bruff over to Greedy. To Jones, nice screen set by Greedy. Jones driving to the hoop, off the glass, no good. And a foul by Greedy. Or excuse me, it'll be Jeremiah Curtis.
I think Deshaun Jones called for the foul. I think a little bit. I
can't read numbers tonight. It's Deshaun Jones, not Jeremiah Curtis.
Yeah, I think it was a frustration foul. Yeah, you're frustrated and you're reaching, trying to get the ball back. 29-23 here with just under 3 minutes left. You want to keep chipping away as you get closer to halftime.
DeRamus brings it forward for AUM. He's met by Williams. He goes baseline and is blocked by Chris Williams. That's Williams' second block tonight.
Yeah, Chris Williams doing a nice job on the ball. And both cases, the offensive player didn't know he was there, and he was able to swat it away.
Darion Taylor gives it to DeRamus, who is fouled by Williams. Put a little too much body on him there. So it'll be AUM basketball on the floor.
15.
DeRamus will inbound, gives it to Eubanks. Back over to DeRamus. Dribbles behind his back, finds Eubanks in the corner. Three, no good. Hornbuckle comes up with the offensive board. working against Curtis. Can't get the lay in. Curtis, the strong rebound that time.
Yeah, that was a nice rebound after giving up one offensive rebound. Curtis possessing that one.
Montevallo turns it over on the other end of the floor. Errant pass there. The Ramus will bring it forward. The Warhawks have a 6-point lead. Montevallo again got off to the hot start, but it's been all AUM since. James Core knocks down another three.
Yeah, Jeremiah Curtis has got to get a hand in the face there. The Core is a good three-point shooter and had a wide open look.
Normally we see Montevallo very good at closing out on the three-point shooters. Does not do a good job there. 32-23, Jamar Taylor over to Chris Williams. Williams driving left side. Kick out to Bruff, who will try a three. No good. Guidi tried to get the rebound, but falls in the hands of DeRamus. DeRamus the other way. Guarded by Williams here. Gives it off to Darion Taylor to Eubanks. Back to DeRamus for a three. Guidi the rebound. Taylor ahead now from Montevallo. Dribbles past. DeRamus can't get the lay in. James Core the rebound. Darion Taylor tries a three. No good. Bruff the rebound. Chris Williams ahead to Taylor. Dribbles past Eubank. Floater off the back iron. Offensive board. Guidi kicks out to Bruff for a three. Knocks it down. Tyler Bruff.
Yeah, wide open look by Tyler Bruff there. He can't give him that. He's going to knock down 3 out of 4.
42 seconds left to go. I heard Coach Young call for a timeout, but no signal on the floor.
Yeah, they get apparently ruled AUM had the ball back in play before they call it.
Core, three, no good. Guidi, the rebound.
All right.
And the shot clock will be, well, about a
yeah, game clock, it's into the half. It's into the half. Like, it's the last possession. So now the Falcons will get that timeout. Try to draw something up here to take the last shot. Go into halftime with some momentum.
Yeah, 21.6 left to go, and it will be huge to get some kind of points here in the last possession of the first half after Tyler Bruff knocked down that huge three-pointer.
Yeah, and that's key because you know that AUM's thinking Jamar Taylor. So the question is, can Jamar drive and kick to a wide open Tyler Bruff or find a Julio Guidi? Can they take advantage of the double team that's coming? Because you know what's coming. I mean, Jamar Taylor in this situation against Union, was able to score the go-ahead basket late, or to go off the rim. Julio Guidi put the putback. You know they're going to double Jamar. They're going to expect that he's going to have the ball in his hands. If he can't get to the rim and get a basket, can someone else for the Falcons step up here at the end of the half? Chris Williams in the game as well. I got a couple of other options.
Bruff inbounds to Taylor. 21 seconds left to go till halftime. Taylor will just hold the ball and let the clock go down, and then they'll run their play. 13 seconds. Down to 10, and now Coach Young will holler out for the Falcons to run the play. Williams on the baseline kicks out to Bruff. Bruff will try a three at 4 seconds, no good, and it goes into the hands of Hornbuckle. Reagan Eubanks will try it as the clock expires, and that'll do it for the half. Not really sure what the idea was.
It was nice ball movement. The bottom line is really probably Tyler Bruff wasn't ready for the pass over here. The double came, and Chris Williams was in the corner, but he saw Bruff open. Made the pass, but Bruff didn't seem like he was really expecting it. Rushed the shot.
The play was to go to Bruff for the final shot, but Williams, like you said, had to force it up early. Nonetheless, it'll be halftime here in AUM Gymnasium as the Warhawks had the 32-26 lead. We'll take about a 15-minute break and be back here for half number 2. Stay with us here on the Falcon Athletic Network. Welcome back into AUM Gym.
Yeah, we're back.
Welcome back in. Welcome back in. We had some technical difficulties, but we have everything squared away now. Out of halftime, it's 34-28 now. The Warhawks still have the lead. 18:52 to go. Montevallo basketball. Deshaun Jones lays it in.
Yeah, second half here, you want to get somebody else to step up in addition to Jamar Taylor. Jamar Taylor, led the way for the Falcons the first half with 13 points. What can the supporting cast provide?
Croft for AUM nearly loses it against the tough defense by Curtis and airballs it. Curtis was straight up on that one. Taylor the other way.
34-32 now for the Falcons. Jeremiah Curtis with a basket.
AUM the other way. Reagan Eubanks hands off to Kenneth Keith for a three. No good. Greedy the big rebound. It's just a 2-point game. Nice pass by Gilbert down low to Deshaun Jones. And he is fouled, so he'll go to the line to shoot two. It's number 22, Lafayette James Core, who commits the foul.
Lafayette James Core, first personal.
And Lafayette James Core was the hot hand for AUM in the first half. 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 2 3-pointers.
And Jamar Taylor not too far behind with 13 points to lead all Falcons.
Yep.
Jones misses the first free throw. We saw free throws were sort of an Achilles heel for the women in their game. Montevallo is 3 of 5 from the line after Jones missed that one, and he makes his second.
Yeah, 4 of 7 now. AUM, oddly enough, hasn't had an attempt at the free throw line in tonight's game. So.
Very disciplined defensively has been Coach Young's Falcons here. Kenneth Keith driving in is blocked by Julio Greedy, got pinned against the backboard. Jamar Gilbert the other way gets fouled hard. They're going to call a foul against Croft, or James Core, saying he was in the restricted area. So Jamar Gilbert will go to the line to shoot two.
One thing you like to see there is there were 4 Falcons leading the charge after that block, getting back down the floor quickly. Even if Jamar Gilbert doesn't decide to take it to the rim himself, had plenty of options there offensively. The Falcons, again, showing a lot of energy here at the start of the second half, matching that intensity they came out of the game with.
Gilbert's first free throw is good. Game is tied at 34. Montevallo starting off very fast-paced in the second half, just like they did in the first. Chance to take the lead. Gilbert's free throw rolls out. Croft hauls in the rebound. DeRamus ahead to Croft. Over to James Core looking for someone guarded by Guidi, finds DeRamus.
I like the decision to put Guidi on James Core. A little link there. Hopefully that'll disrupt.
DeRamus handoff to Reagan Eubanks for three is good.
You don't want Eubanks to get hot. He's the guy you don't want to step. He only scored 5 points in the first half, 2 of 7. Only 1 of 6 from three-point range.
Jamar Taylor driving in. What a move. Lays it in for 2. Jamar Taylor driving through 3 Warhawks there. James Core the other way. Goes quickly. Kicks back out to DeRamus. Over to Keith in the corner to Eubanks, who tries an off-balance 3. Rebound to Gilbert. Ahead to Taylor. Taylor goes one-on-one. Decides to pull back out and turns back around and goes back to the hoop. Off the glass. Right by the 6'10 Croft.
Yeah, nice.
Taylor lays it in.
And the Falcons definitely looking to push the tempo offensively. You can hear assistant coach Duncan Hudson on the bench, head coach Danny Young looking to push as soon as they get that defensive rebound.
And a mental mistake by AUM. James Core moved before he inbounded the ball, so that'll be a travel. Montevallo gets it back just after Taylor took the lead, 38-37 for the Falcons. Jones inbounds to Taylor. Taylor thought about a 3, kicks it out to Jones. Jones looking for someone. Kicks in the corner. Gilbert for 3. Knocks it down. Jamar Gilbert for 3. Gilbert knocked down the biggest 3 of his life on a similar play in the game against Lee to take the lead earlier this season.
A big one. And Falcons were only 1 of 9 from three-point range in the first half. They hit their first one in the second there with Gilbert making that one.
And an offensive foul. DeRamus with a little too much contact there away from the ball. It'll be Montevallo basketball. So the Falcons are clicking offensively, and then mental mistakes to travel by James Core, and then the offensive foul there by the Warhawks.
Yeah, look, just like the first 4 minutes of the opening half, just as the way the game started. Now the question for the Falcons is, can they keep the crowd from getting into it? Can they keep this momentum and energy up for the next 15 minutes? That's going to be the question. You want to keep this crowd from getting back into the game as much as possible.
And a media timeout here. We'll take a quick break and be right back as Montevallo leads 41-37. Welcome back in as Montevallo has the lead over AUM 41-37. It is Falcons basketball. Gilbert will bring it forward. Gives it to Guidi on the elbow. Bounce pass to Jones, who dribbles through a defender, lays it off the glass but can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Fantastic effort there by Jones.
Yeah, a nice job of offensive rebounding here for the Falcons, getting an extra possession.
And the officials blow the whistle.
I think they're going to confer if the ball hit the rim on the previous attempt. And,
on
for the shot
Jones's
clock.
Initial shot, I don't think it did, but the putback that missed, I think it did hit the rim. But they're going to say it didn't.
They're going to say 4 seconds on the
and they're going to reset to 4 seconds. But from our angle, it looked like his second attempt did hit the rim. However, it'll be Montevallo basketball with 4 seconds on the shot clock here. It'll be Jones to inbound.
And they're going to go to Jamar Taylor and ask him to create.
You got to. 3, 2, 1. Taylor will have to fire it up a long 3. I don't think Taylor realized there was only 4 seconds.
Taylor didn't realize that they reset the shot clock on that possession. And had to take a long 23-foot three-point attempt as a result.
Taylor comes up with the steal and then gets knocked hard by DeRamus, trying to cross over half court.
Foul committed by number 3.
So Montevallo will inbound.
Desmond DeRamus.
Yeah, you like the effort there by Taylor defensively.
15
He is. It's almost like he always tries to make up for something. If he doesn't execute offensively, he's always looking to get it back on the defensive end of the floor. It's just one of the many things that makes him such a great player.
And so Montevallo will inbound at half court. Deshaun Jones will give it to Taylor. And now Taylor doesn't have 4 seconds. He has 28 seconds on the shot clock, and he'll try and create something here for Montevallo. Handoff to Jones, right side. Bounce pass down low in the post to Taylor, working against DeRamus. Kicks back out to Jones. Jones driving inside. Nearly loses it, gets it back, and finds a bounce pass to Guidi, who gives it to Curtis at the free throw line for the jumper. Very uncharacteristic possession, but
I think everybody touched it on that possession, and some of them by accident. But it ended up in the hands of Jeremiah Curtis, and he knocks down the 12-footer there. Nice job.
6-point lead. Jarrett Croft down low. Kicks out to James Core, over to DeRamus, driving baseline. Kenneth Keith now kicks out to James Core for 3. Knocks it down, and if you're AUM, that's what you needed.
Yeah, the Falcons collapsed defensively in the post, and nice look there to kick it out to the open three-point shooter, and 3-point lead here for the Falcons.
Taylor. Screen set by Guidi. James Core pops out to guard Taylor. He finds Guidi inside. A lot of contact there. Misses the shot. Jarrett Croft the rebound.
Yeah,
Eubanks ahead.
Guidi thought he got hit in the head on that play.
Eubanks for 3. No good. That would have been a huge momentum changer. Curtis with the rebound.
And that's definitely what you want to avoid here in the second half. You want to keep the momentum.
Jones loses the ball, but Eubanks kicks it out of bounds. It'll be Montevallo basketball. 28 seconds will be on the shot clock. 13:37 left to go here in the game. Montevallo has just a 3-point lead.
I think they're discussing was that a change of possession there. Should the shot clock have reset, or did the Falcons possess it through the entirety?
And they're going to reset the shot clock now to 25.
So they're going to rule that the AUM didn't possess it here on the kick ball out of bounds, and 25 on the shot clock for Montevallo.
Gilbert will bring it forward. Guarded by Keith. Taylor driving through the lane, off the glass, too strong. Croft the rebound. DeRamus to Keith in the corner. Eubanks pump fakes, kicks it to James Core, who will drive in and has it knocked away by Guidi, who got all ball there, but a little bit of contact, and they're going to get him with the foul.
Yeah, the contact there heavy enough to draw the foul.
First personal. First team.
I mean, good news for Montevallo. That's just the first personal foul on Julio Guidi.
Yeah, no one in foul trouble for Montevallo. Very important down the stretch. Right there, James Core is showing a little different dimension to his game. Decides to drive to the basket after shooting it well from outside tonight.
And James Core knocks down the free throw. Makes it a 2-point game.
Press break. The shot going in.
That free throw is missed by James Core. Guidi with the rebound. Montevallo goes the other way. Gilbert in the corner. Jones goes baseline, high off the glass, lays it in. Deshaun Jones, kind of a cold game against Union. Only had 4 points and 1 steal. Had 2 back-to-back games with 16 points against Shorter and Lee earlier this season. He can be a scoring force.
Yeah, he stepped it up here in the second half so far. A couple of key baskets.
James Core misses on the other end. Rebound to Curtis. Montevallo the other way.
The Falcons are getting their answer. Who's going to step up? Jamar Taylor, the supporting cast there. Deshaun Jones doing a good job of that so far in the second half.
Gilbert pass to Guidi, kicks it out to Taylor to try a 3. And Taylor airballs that one. The crowd is going to let him have it. Keith over to James Core. Gives it to DeRamus. DeRamus will try a 3. No good. Guidi the big rebound. The 4-point game. Montevallo with the lead. 12 minutes to go in this one. Deshaun Jones will bring it to the center. And it goes back to the left side, looking to run something here. Guidi sets a screen. Jones kicks out to Gilbert. Gilbert loses the ball, still by Eubanks, who throws it away right into the hands of Curtis and a fresh shot clock.
The Falcons are being a little careless with the ball here, and they've gotten away with it a couple occasions. They got a basket by Curtis, but they're got to protect the ball. You can't afford any turnovers here.
Taylor inside to Jones. Nice cut. High off the glass. Jones falls down. No whistle. Kenneth Keith goes the other way off the rebound, and he is fouled hard. And not really any intent on the foul there. Keith kind of just went up, and Gilbert was coming in, just bumped him.
Yeah, I think they actually called Julio Guidi on the both of them. It could have gone either way.
Right.
Not a bad foul. Just trying to keep, make them earn it at the free throw line.
Well, Montevallo has the 4-point lead with just 11:24 left to go in this one. And we'll take a quick break here as we have the media timeout. Stay with us here on the Falcon Athletic Network.
Who wants no good?
Welcome back in on the Falcon Athletic Network, bringing you today's Gulf South Conference matchup between the Montevallo Falcons and the AUM Warhawks. Kenneth Keith is at the line to shoot two for the Warhawks here after being fouled by Julio Guidi, who picked up his second. He makes the first. Montevallo leads 45-42. AUM is coming off a huge win against number 13 West Florida, trying to extend their winning streak here. Montevallo trying to get their fourth win in a row. Keith makes a second, and Darion Taylor comes back on for the Warhawks. It's a 2-point game. Full court press is on by the Warhawks. Jones breaks through it, gives it to Curtis. Over to Gilbert. Gilbert guarded by Taylor in the half court. Handoff, Jones finds Bruff. Bruff hands it off to Taylor. Tried to go in the lane. Nothing there. Taylor gives it back to Gilbert. Gilbert jumper is good. And that was a good shot by Gilbert. He also had Bruff in the corner if he wanted him.
Gilbert's got that shot in his repertoire. He can knock down that 12-footer there. Nice shot.
And they're going to get Jamar Taylor with the foul on the other end against James Core.
Foul committed by number 5, Jamar Taylor.
Montevallo still with the 4-point lead here.
First personal. Third team foul.
The first personal foul on Taylor. Eubanks guarded by Bruff. Down low to Jarrett Croft. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Gilbert. Gilbert. Jumper again from the same spot. He just hit one, and that one rolls in off the backboard.
Yeah, Jamar Gilbert. Again, we talked about players stepping up. It was Deshaun Jones early in the half. Now Jamar Gilbert with back-to-back baskets.
With the absence of Chris Williams sort of making up for him. Not really playing as much. He's kind of been banged up. Jarrett Croft double-teamed by Curtis and Bruff. Bruff runs to the other side to guard DeRamus, who loses the ball out of bounds. It'll be Montevallo basketball. DeRamus wanted the foul, but the ball literally just fell out of his hands and rolled out of bounds. And the crowd starting a chant of boos.
Yeah. These are the Falcons. You want to keep that crowd out of it as much as you possibly can here. 10 minutes to play, 6-point lead on the road. You definitely want to keep the momentum in your favor.
Gilbert driving inside, off the glass again. Jamar Gilbert has 6 points in 3 straight possessions, carrying Montevallo down the stretch, 51-43. Eubanks drives baseline, airballs that attempt. Gilbert with the rebound. And we see the laughs from Curtis as he starts coming up the court. Montevallo's starting to get a little comfortable here with this lead, but does not need to get too comfortable.
Yeah, you're playing on the road. You can never get too comfortable when you're playing on the road. You got to keep that execution.
Curtis jumper from the elbow is good. Great assist there by Jamar Gilbert. Montevallo is playing exceptional right now.
The Falcons are playing great here in the second half. Timeout called here by the Warhawks.
Coach Cheney calls the timeout. A lot of time left in this one. 9:08. Montevallo just, you mentioned getting too comfortable. Montevallo does not need to just kind of relax here and sit in on this lead because James Core and Eubanks and company can storm back if they want to.
Yeah, certainly. And as they walk off the floor, look like Curtis and a few words exchanged by somebody coming off the bench for AUM. That's the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to give them any. You just want to. Jeremiah Curtis is a colorful player. He wears his emotions on his sleeves, but you got to keep them in check. You don't want to get. You don't want them to feed off the energy that you're bringing to the table that gets them motivated and excited. You just keep playing your game. You just keep playing your game. Sharp execution by the Falcons here in the last 2 minutes. They made, I think, their last 4 shots in a row. Keep that execution going down the stretch. That's what you got to focus on here.
And they made the last 4. 3 of those were by Jamar Gilbert.
Certainly, Jamar Gilbert. Again, like you mentioned, you know Jamar Taylor, you know what he's going to do. He's second leading scorer in the conference. Chris Williams has typically been that supporting role, stepping up, averaging 15 games for the Falcons, but not playing much tonight. Like you mentioned, you got to have somebody step up, and so far, Deshaun Jones and Jamar Gilbert, the guards are really coming to play here for the Falcons in the second half.
And that was the big thing coming into this. When we saw Chris Williams was out of the starting lineup, who was gonna be the partner with Jamar Taylor there and help carry this team? And it's really been a mixture of Gilbert and Jones. Jones will play really good at times, and Gilbert, as we mentioned earlier, and we get the same production from Curtis and Guidi as we've gotten all season long. It's really made up for not having Chris Williams in there. And we'll restart here, AUM basketball. 9 minutes to go, 53-43, the lead for Montevallo. Darion Taylor over to DeRamus. To Eubanks. Back to DeRamus. Driving inside, gets blocked by Taylor. And Curtis finally comes up with it. Several Falcons battling for the ball there. And for AUM, number 25, Chandler Ferguson has checked into the game, his first appearance. Taylor kicks it out to Bruff, swings it to Jones. Jones out to Taylor. 7 on the shot clock. Hornbuckle back into the game for AUM. Taylor gives it to Curtis. 3 on the shot clock. Jones has to turn around in the corner and somehow knocks it down. Deshaun Jones.
This may be as well as the Falcons have shot the game all year.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe the last 5 attempts from the field. It's as if there's a magnet in the bottom of the net right now for the Falcons.
I mean, that one was an uncharacteristic shot from Jones, and he somehow made it go in. Hornbuckle answers on the other end. Gilbert guarded by Taylor here.
And I believe that was the first basket for AUM in quite some time. The first point for them going all the way back to the 11:24 mark.
Curtis in the lane, jumper no good, air ball there. Ferguson the rebound. Jones takes it away and goes strong to the hoop and is fouled. Deshaun Jones. One thing about Deshaun Jones, he's been hit or miss all season long, but when he's on, you see the talent that got him to play at Jacksonville State and to get to that level as he transferred here from there.
Yeah, it's a nice addition to the team this year. Really good point guard. Probably sometimes when players transfer down a level, they come in maybe thinking they're just going to come in and take over and it's going to be their team. Deshaun Jones, I think, had a learning curve stepping in, not really realizing how good the players around him would be.
It's Jamar Taylor.
So I feel like he's had to kind of find his role, and he's gotten better as the season's has gone on, has done a better job. And I think he's going to be a key player down the stretch. I mean, he's a good point guard. He's a good distributor. He's got the talent. It's just finding his role with his team, and he's starting to do that.
And we talk about Montevallo. I mean, it's been up and down so far. A lot of adversity this season for the team. Sitting at 11-9 right now, and if you look at national landscape of potential for them to get into the tournament, I mean, there's really 3 games on the schedule down the stretch that are tough games. On the road at UNA, on the road at UAH, and then Valdosta State at home. Every other game in the Gulf South, especially on the road, is tough, but those 3 especially. Montevallo, they can find a way to only drop those games. They're sitting at 18-12 on the season.
Yeah, the key is winning out at home. You got to protect your home court. That's the key. That'll help you not only national tournament potential, but also just Gulf South Conference and staying in that upper half, top 4, hosting a first-round quarterfinal game. That's the key. And you want to still win on the road. You got a 10-point lead with 7:28. You got to win this one on the road. This is one that you've got a chance at. As you mentioned, it's tough to go on the road in the Gulf South Conference and win. And you got to do it when you get those opportunities. That'll help you build that resume for the postseason, both for consideration for NCAA tournament and also trying to advance in the Gulf South Conference.
And Montevallo is certainly adding to the resume, especially with their strength of schedule. 8 opponents that they played this season have been ranked in the top 25. Claflin, the number 22 team in the country, only has 2 losses. One of those is to Montevallo. Jones misses that free throw. I believe that was only the 2nd free throw missed all game by Montevallo.
Yeah, I think they're 5 of 8 now. 5 of 9. 5 of 9 after that miss by Deshaun Jones.
It's a 10-point game, and Jones knocks down the 2nd. How many points does Jones have? Eubanks on the other end, hand off to Taylor. Darion Taylor misses that one. Ferguson the rebound, and he is fouled. It's Tyler Bruff who commits the foul.
Committed by number 12, Tyler Bruff. Lock out! We got shootout! We got shootout!
So Ferguson hasn't played much tonight. Will go to the line for the first time today.
Shooting one more for the Lions, number 25, Chandler Ferguson.
Ferguson's first free throw is missed.
Rebound!
Second one is good. 9-point game. Gilbert trying to break the press here.
And as you mentioned, Gilbert and Deshaun Jones playing well in the second half. Deshaun Jones in double figures now with 12 points. Gilbert, I believe, is approaching that as well. Or he's already there. 14 for Gilbert, 12 for Jones. So 3 double-figure scores.
Taylor bounce pass down low to Curtis. Almost goes out of bounds. Curtis saves it to Taylor. 4 on the shot clock. Gilbert now driving in. Reverse layup off the glass is good. Jamar Gilbert. 16 points.
Imitating his teammate there, Jamar Taylor. Take it to the basket at the rim and finish.
And it seems as Jamar Gilbert can't miss anything here tonight. DeRamus driving in. Foul on the floor. It is Bruff again.
And I believe that'll send the Warhawks to the line for 1-1.
Second personal.
Or maybe 5. No, excuse me. That was a 15 foul. 15 foul. So the Falcons still have 2 fouls to give.
Ferguson driving in. Bruff knocks it away out of his hands. Montevallo comes up with it. Jamar Taylor the other way.
And he saves it from going out of bounds simultaneously on that. Strips it and keeps the ball in bounds.
Tyler Bruff, such a smart player for Coach Danny Young. Jones over to Jamar Taylor. Haven't seen Jamar Taylor score in a little bit. Gives it to Curtis. Kicks out to Bruff for 3 in the corner. No good. Deshaun Jones gets up there for the rebound, but Hornbuckle comes down with it for AUM.
You mentioned the fact that Jamar Taylor hasn't scored much lately, but it's been great for the Falcons to step up. The others have stepped up at 12-point lead.
Darion Taylor gets blocked on his three-point attempt by Gilbert. But Deshaun Jones, who came down with the rebound, stepped on the baseline, so it'll be AUM basketball. And Darion Taylor tried a 3, but just 5'7". A huge mismatch there as Jamar Gilbert swatted it away.
Yeah, certainly he's got to have an open look to be able to get his shot off. Can't take a contested shot. It's going to be difficult for him.
DeRamus to inbound. Gives it to James Core. Catch and shoot. Can't get it to go. Eubanks, the offensive board. His layup is no good. Uncharacteristic for Reagan Eubanks. DeMar Gilbert bringing it across half court.
As hot as the Falcons have been on this end, AUM is really struggling on the other end. They're going cold shooting here in the second half.
Gilbert, handoff, Bruff nearly loses it, gets it back, finds Jamar Taylor, who will drive in and go through the entire AUM defense and lay it in. Jamar Taylor. That's 21 for him tonight. DeRamus for three on the other end. Nails it. 60-49, 11-point game with 5 minutes to go.
I think we'll start seeing some full court press by the Warhawks now with an 11-point lead by Montevallo with 5 minutes left.
Jones.
The Falcons got to keep composure here, get the ball in the front court.
Taylor driving in again, off the glass again. Rolls around and in. Jamar Taylor is amazing when he drives to the hole.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be a candidate for Gulf South Conference Player of the Year. I mean, he's one of the best players you'll see in this conference.
James Core over to Eubanks. Nails it. And really the only thing that has hurt Jamar Taylor this season is the game he's missed. Didn't play in the first 3 games. He missed 4 games due to an injury in the middle of the season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, considering that you've been playing 7 games, having an unbelievable senior season, got to be careful. AUM has hit their last 2 baskets. Coach Danny Young going to call a timeout, trying to interrupt the momentum that the Warhawks are building right now.
And as Coach Young takes a timeout, we will as well here in AUM Gymnasium with Montevallo leading 62-52. Stay with us for the final 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the Falcon Athletic Network when we come back. Welcome back in. Montevallo trying to upset the Warhawks at home. The Falcons currently lead 62-52. And it is Montevallo basketball. Gilbert, heavily guarded by DeRamus, kicks it over to Jones. Jones has his pass knocked away by Eubanks. Or excuse me, it was James Core.
Yeah, the Warhawks turning things up defensively here. They realize a sense of urgency now.
And out of the timeout, James Core comes up with, forces the turnover and turns it into 2 points. It's an 8-point game. Montevallo needs to continue putting the pressure on the defense of the Warhawks.
Yeah, you got to keep your composure. You got to run your offense, and you got to realize you got Jamar Taylor, who's got a great game going on right now.
Bruff in the corner, kicks back out to Gilbert, pass inside to Curtis. Eubanks saves it from going out of bounds in the hands of James Core. Numbers ahead for AUM. DeRamus in the corner. Darion Taylor will try a 3. No good. Deshaun Jones, the rebound. The crowd really wanted that one.
That was pivotal. If that one drops, you've got a 5-point game, and the crowd is right back into it.
Montevallo basketball. 3 minutes left in this one. Taylor spinning around, driving inside, gets blocked by Hornbuckle. That's a rare sighting. James Core ahead to Darion Taylor, bounce pass to Eubanks, swings it over to DeRamus, back to James Core for a 3, knocks it down. And James Core single-handedly trying to lead AUM to a comeback here.
Yeah,
it's a 5-point game.
Starting to heat back up. You know, I mean, he's leading the team in scoring tonight. You got to focus on him. AUM struggling here in the second half, but he's starting to heat up. You got to keep him from making that big of an impact in the game.
Gilbert over to Bruff. Back to Gilbert. 9 on the shot clock. Back over to Bruff. Thought about a 3. Gives it back to Gilbert. Gilbert's going to drive and kick to Jones, who will shoot a deep 3. Jones knocks it down. Deshaun Jones playing out of his mind tonight. I believe that's 15 points for him.
Yeah, the best game Deshaun Jones has played all year.
Eubanks on the other end. Layup hits the rim. No good. Jamal Taylor the rebound. Montevallo has an 8-point lead now. And cuts the momentum of AUM.
Again, you got to be smart with the basketball right now. You got to take care of your first priority is taking care of the basketball. You got an 8-point lead, minute 44 left. You got to take care of the ball.
Jamal Taylor now. Bounce pass over to Jones is taken away by Eubanks, who throws it ahead to James Core, who lays it in. 6-point game with a minute and a half.
Yeah, bad pass there led to easy transition basket. Again, your priority right now is taking care of the ball. If you're the Falcons, you just got to take care of it.
And a turnover. Doremus comes up with it in the half court and dunks it home. And the crowd is erupting here. It's a 4-point game. You said Montevallo needs to take care of the ball. Jamar Gilbert does not do that there. Full court press on. Deshaun Jones calls a timeout. And Danny Young is beside himself and his team here.
I think Coach Young's upset. The Falcons are a little too lackadaisical right now. I mean, you've got to take care of the ball, and you've got an 8-point lead with 2 minutes left. You know you've got to take care of the ball. You got to make crisp passes. You just got to be sharp. And I think he thinks the Falcons weren't sharp there and calls a timeout. Send a message to the team. You've got to take care of the basketball.
Well, and heavy defense there in the half court, and Jamar Gilbert just tries to get it across the line by going right through someone and loses the ball to Doremus, who slams it home. And now the crowd is chanting and on their feet and completely in this one, as it is just a 4-point game. And we talked about Jamal Taylor being able to flip a switch. Lafayette James Core is doing that for AUM right
certainly.
now.
I mean, he's the reason they're back in it right now. He is single-handedly pulling his team back into this game. It was a huge three-pointer over there on the wing by Jones, but you almost feel like maybe that gave the Falcons too much confidence. He knocked down that shot, and that's
a low percentage shot.
Yeah, it really is. So you got to
for anyone besides Tyler Bruff.
Yeah, they got to get back into it. The Falcons have mentally got to get back into it right now. You realize it's a 4-point game with a minute 7 left. You got to play these last minute 7. You can't get lackadaisical. You can't turn the ball over. You've got to be sharp with your passing. That's the key.
And this is a crucial possession for Montevallo here. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Need to use as much of it as they can and protect the ball. Jones inbounds to Gilbert.
Pressure by the Warhawks.
Gilbert's got to get it across half court and runs over Eubanks, and they call the charge. And this place is erupting. Gilbert was the hero for a little bit and now is committed 2 turnovers there. That was huge.
With a full court press, you got to have another guard come back to the backcourt and help relieve some of the pressure there. You're trying to get Gilbert to beat him one-on-one.
It's a 4-point game. Ball in the hands of Doremus here. He'll hand off to Eubanks. Over to James Core. Back to Doremus. Driving inside. Gives it Darion Taylor, who will try a 3, and he makes it.
I believe that was his first 3-point made in the game.
Darion Taylor makes a 3, and it's a 1-point game. That's only the 3rd attempt he's had. The first one was blocked. The second was airballed. And it's almost like a fairy tale. You just knew that was going to go down.
Yeah, he
for
kept
Taylor.
shooting, and he had a wide open look there. I mean, the Falcons are, James Core, you're looking for him. You're looking for Eubanks, and Taylor gets the wide open look there and knocks it down, a big shot.
18-point second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. Montevallo has got to get the ball across half court and protect the basketball here. Actually, they're going to reset the game clock to 50 seconds, so 20.8 difference. Jones trying to inbound, gives it to Taylor. Taylor is fouled, and 6 fouls by AUM, so that'll be number 7, which will be a 1-and-1 attempt for Jamal Taylor, one of your best free throw shooters.
Yeah, you got to knock him down in this situation. And Taylor, Thankfully, Taylor was the one in the corner with a basketball, probably the only one capable of beating two defenders by himself. Got out of trouble, got the foul draw
and
at the free throw line.
This is huge here for Montevallo because AUM has all the momentum right now. Jamar Taylor has a chance to kill the momentum at the line, makes the first free throw, and that gives the Falcons a 2-point lead, a chance to make it a 3-point game here at the line as Taylor. And again, down the stretch.
84% from the line this year. He's the Falcons' best free throw shooter.
And down the stretch, protect the ball and make your free throws.
Yeah.
Taylor with the second attempt here. Knocks it down. Clutch free throw shooting at the line by Jamar Taylor. 3-point game, 46 seconds left to go. DeRamus with the ball. Handoff to James Core. Gives it to Darion Taylor. Over to DeRamus again. Back to Reagan Croft. Croft gives to Taylor. 34 seconds left to go. Taylor handoff DeRamus to Croft, who will try a three. No good. And everyone fighting for the rebound. Deshaun Jones comes down with it from Montevallo. 23 seconds left to go. And he heaves it ahead to Taylor. But there was a foul beforehand.
Huge miss there by Eubanks. Bounce off the rim. A fortunate bounce there. Falcons get the rebound and got to take care of business.
Yeah, and after the play, Deshaun Jones had thrown it ahead to Jamar Taylor, and Jamar Taylor tried to dunk it home and missed it, and the crowd let him have it.
Yeah, I think he didn't give much effort on that, though, on the foul call.
We've seen some dunks that Jamar Taylor can throw down. He had a huge one in the Christian Brothers game, or the Union game, rather. Deshaun Jones, clutch free throw shooting, knocks that one down. It is a 2-possession game.
The Falcons have weathered the storm. After the timeout, they have come back out with their composure. They've done what they needed to do to close out the win.
And the main thing, they've knocked down their free throws.
Certainly.
And Jones knocks down the second. DeRamus ahead, 20 seconds left to go. Montevallo has a 5-point lead. Darion Taylor in the corner for three. Air ball, rebound to Jamar Gilbert, and he is fouled with 13 seconds left to go. So if you're Montevallo, you can kind of breathe a little bit. With 13 seconds left, you have a 5-point lead.
Yeah, great to see the Falcons supporters over here getting a chance to enjoy this one. Yeah, going on the road. You know, in the Gulf South, you got to, AUM, North Alabama, West Alabama. Those are the games where you get a chance to go on the road. And it's got to be a great feeling to go on the road against, it's going to be your biggest rival in the coming years, and you get to take home a victory in the first conference meeting between the two teams.
And this will be the fourth victory in a row for Montevallo. As you said, they've got to win down the stretch, and they are doing that, trying to fight for a spot in the Gulf South Conference tournament and potentially make their case for the national tournament. Gilbert's free throw misses. It's 70-64, 11 seconds. James Core going the other way, lays it in. 70-66. Coach Cheney will call a timeout with 7.1.
Nice job of not fouling there. That's the key. You got a 6-point lead, less than 10 seconds left. Don't foul. Don't give them any opportunities for extra points. Now you've, again, like
now you're in a chance here if you're AUM and you can foul Montevallo, get 2 misses at the free throw line, and quickly get a three. You do have 7 seconds. You can be right back in the game.
Yeah, the game's not over. The game is not over. You got to have trust if you're the Coach Young that you're going to get the ball in bounds. You're going to take advantage of your opportunities at the free throw line and just keep the pressure off. If you knock down your free throws, there's not enough time for AUM to extend the game.
Yep.
If you knock down your free throws, you can trade 3 points for 2 points on possession, but you got to get the 2 at the free throw line.
And you can't kind of win as a win until the buzzer goes off. You can ask Northern Iowa about that one.
Yeah.
As they lost one to Texas A&M in the national tournament a couple years ago. 7.6 seconds. They're going to reset the game clock. Put 5/10 back on there. It's a 4-point game, and it will be Montevallo basketball.
Again, the Falcons learning how to win on the road. If you remember, they hadn't won on the road in conference play until Mississippi College.
Right.
Pulling out a close game there. Again, another opportunity here only helps you build that confidence down the stretch.
Jamar Taylor, 25 points now, had 23 against Union. He is a scoring machine.
Yeah, Jamar, again, tonight, an example of his performance this year. He is the go-to guy on this team, and they get the ball inbounded to him here. He'll go back to the free throw line, chance to add to that total.
Yeah, Taylor is fouled with 6.4 on the clock.
10th team foul. Shooting for the lottery, number 5.
And Gilbert and Jones both have 17 points apiece right behind Jamar Taylor. And only 2 other Falcons have scored in this game. Jeremiah Curtis with 8 points and 3 points of Tyler Bruff. So only 5 players contributing to the 71 points.
I think if you would come in and Chris Williams is 0 of 3, doesn't score in this game, I'm not sure you would have given the Falcons much of a chance.
But Jamar Gilbert and Deshaun Jones stepped up.
Stepping up, players stepping up. That's been the difference.
And Taylor makes both 72-66. Darion Taylor will shoot with 2 seconds on the clock and make it. So the final score will be 72-68. Montevallo winning. Jamar Taylor, the leading scorer, with 25 points. And what a
27.
27
free throw line.
27. What a huge victory this is for Montevallo. And 27 is actually the number that James Core had as well.
Yeah, a great one-on-one battle between those 2 guys tonight. Both had an outstanding game, but the Falcons able to grab this victory here on the road, only going to help build momentum down the stretch. Again, an impressive victory here for the Falcons. They weathered the storm, got the win. Huge win here on the road for Montevallo.
Huge win, and we will get a chance to talk to Jamar Taylor and assistant coach Duncan Hudson after this victory. And here on the Falcon Athletic Network as Montevallo gets the victory 72-68. And I'm joined by Jamar Taylor here. Jamar, fantastic game, 27 points. Whenever you went to the paint, it seemed as if you were just unstoppable. How do you do it?
Just being patient, seeing what the defense is going to react to. And I know I'm a good finisher, so if I'm driving and they give me the lane, more than likely I'll make it.
And down the stretch here in the season, a huge road win to pick up here against AUM. How does it feel to pick up this win?
It builds confidence, so that's good for our other players to get going. Jamar, he stepped up today, and hopefully next games everybody else step up, and that's how we'll win, playing together.
Yeah, Jamar Gilbert and Deshaun Jones with 17 points. Chris Williams has been kind of banged up, could not provide much here today, but Jones and Gilbert stepped up. What are you going forward? Another tough road contest against West Georgia. How do you ride off this momentum and on this 5-game winning streak?
Just play together, stick to the coaching plan, and just give what the defense gives us. Take what the defense gives us.
Well, Jamar, thank you for joining us. And fantastic game again, as always.
Thank you.
And then we're going to be joined by Duncan Hudson, the assistant coach. And Coach Hudson, a huge win for Montevallo on the road, the second win on the road in the conference this season. What does it mean to get this victory?
Oh, this is just a big win. Coming into this environment that they had set up tonight for this blackout they had, and then came out early in the game, got that 8-0 lead, and then just battled from there. And in that first 4 minutes of the second half, I think we went on a 15-4, 15-5 run or something. Then just from there, just holding on. Got tired there at the end, had some silly turnovers, but had some guys step up today that haven't played well lately.
And you mentioned that, and day in and day out, you know what you're going to get from Jamar Taylor. And Chris Williams has been a little bit banged up recently and couldn't provide much here tonight, but Gilbert and Jones stepped up fantastically in his place.
Yeah, those 2 played really well, and, me and Coach have been talking about it. We're going to need one of those 2 going forward to not necessarily score like they did tonight, but just be solid and defend and be a presence and contribute some way. Last 5 or 6 games between both of them, we really had non-factors out of them. And tonight, I'm looking here, they had 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists between the 2 of them. So, Jamar Gilbert 7 of 7 shooting. That's really good for the guy that started at the point for us tonight.
Yeah, and at times there, Montevallo couldn't miss anything. You had the deep 3 by Deshaun Jones and then the turnaround jumper in the corner at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, that's how the game goes sometimes. Really bad shots that go in, and then we get good looks that don't go in. Deshaun was feeling it tonight, and it was kind of contagious. Jamar hit a couple of pull-ups. Deshaun hits a 3. I don't know when the last time he hit a 3 in a game, but he's been shooting it well in practice, and that little fadeaway on the baseline was a tough shot, and it went in, and just lucky to get out of here with this win.
All right, well, Coach Hudson, thank you for joining us here as Montevallo gets the victory 72-68 here in AUM Gymnasium. Another Gulf South Conference win on the road, and Montevallo extends their winning streak, improves to 12-9 on the season. They will travel to West Georgia on Saturday at 4 p.m., another tough road contest. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Falcon Athletic Network, as again, Montevallo got the victory for Wesley Hallman. I'm Wyatt Hall. Again, thank you for listening.